Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Welcome to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and C.J. Hertz on AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. Now, here are your hosts, Peter and C.J.
Good morning, everybody. CJ, did you shave?
I did. Thank you for noticing.
You look baby-faced.
Oh.
I mean,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You look younger than Zach, and that's saying something.
Oh, wow. Wow, I need to put it back on. Zach, it's because Zach's got facial hair. If Zach shaved, he'd look 4.
I'm saying it looks like you just shaved like your entire any type of hair that may have thought about being on your face in any way, shape, or form.
No, I got the eyebrows. The eyebrows are still here. So we're good. And the eyelashes are here, too.
But you got there's no facial hair of any sort. I mean,
no.
Nothing even remotely close to facial hair.
No.
And the head is completely.
Yep.
And may I say, it's also a little bit on the shiny side.
Well, because it is completely bald. So I went out and grabbed some razors to really get in there. Usually in this time of COVID-19, I just hit it with the clippers, and the clippers can only get it down so far. But when you get that razor shade, this is what you get right here, boy.
Yeah, you can tell
it's shiny.
That's shiny. I mean,
that's why I
glistening.
Sang the song today when I moisturize.
I can see why you would. Would. It fits.
Mm-hmm.
I have not shaved my head. Hair is still abundant on top of my head and on my face.
Okay.
In this region here and maybe up here, so much there. Me and Zach share similarities there. Zach, let's talk to Zach in a second first.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Peter. You already heard from the newly shorn C.J. Hurt, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey everybody, wife hates it. Oh, she hates it.
She hates the full shave.
Yep. Does not like it at all.
Why?
I don't know. She says it makes me look like a baby. And she doesn't like it. She likes older dudes. She likes the men to look older.
You look younger.
Mm-hmm.
You look younger, I have to say.
It'll be okay. I don't tell her what to do with her hair. She can't tell me what to do with mine. Them's the rules.
Okay. If you got that's a tough way to go. But if that's the way you want to do it, then man, who am I to tell you how to live your life? But,
okay, I appreciate it. That's the hill I'm dying on.
That's a tough way. You're making it hard. I'll say that. That's true too. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, if you think it's worth it, then hey, it's your decision. So,
we all got decisions to make.
That's probably the price you got to pay. If you're going to pay it, then God bless you. And of course, producing the program today. That's right. He is Rack City's finest, ladies and gentlemen. The Baron of Not Sharon, the Prince of Whitehaven. The king of everybody else's bling.
Oh, is it my go?
The Duke of the Cucumber.
The Merker of Veggies. The Knower of Reggies.
Oh, okay. Is that it? I thought there was more.
That's it. I got nothing. The Merker of Veggies. The Knower of Reggies. The Avoider of Meats. And of stanky feets. The Prince of the Dollar. The Lord of not making him holler because he doesn't like that.
He getter of green. Knower of things.
Non-sipper of lean.
Non-sipper of lean. Mm-hmm. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm assuming he doesn't sip lean.
He doesn't drink coffee. Very fair assumption. If he doesn't drink coffee
or tea, I don't think.
And he doesn't drink soda, there's a 0% chance he's drinking lean. So that's not even. Don't even worry about that. That's easy. I mean, if lean is like a Diet Coke, I mean, he's not drinking that. So You don't drink Diet Coke, do you? There's no caffeine in it. No, still no? Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't drink it either. It's not very good. But, might be up to you. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Similac Zach, a.k.a. Rack City Zach, a.k.a. the Deacon of the Dollar, a.k.a. Zachary Boyd. Good morning, Zach.
We would be doing better if everybody could hear you, not just Peter.
Yeah, I heard it. So he said he was doing great. He said he was doing great.
Yeah. Good morning.
Let the translation happen.
Yes.
Well, no, I blame myself. I blame myself a little bit for that because I had my kids, joining me in the early part of the broadcast here, the pre-show, to say hello to Mr. CJ and Mr. Zach, as they're known to my kids. And so Zach was talking to the kids. And he forgot to put it. He was saying hello.
I thought the kids were going to do the show today. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun.
I mean, I'm tempted. But they wanted to say hello, so okay. I was happy to give them the chance. And they're doing great.
Good. The homie's hair is getting a little long too.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yes. Both the homies are like their daddy, except his hair is not curly.
Mm-hmm.
Although my hair didn't get curly like this until I was probably about 10 or 11, and then
really
it kind of just curled up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I'm not sure what happened exactly, but my hair was like his, very long and very straight, and then until it wasn't, and then ooh boy, it wasn't. For sure. All right. So obviously today on the show we have much to discuss on this Monday, and it's a dramatic Monday because we're going to see some dramatics from you, CJ.
Oh,
and you, Zach.
Didn't know that. Okay. Oh yeah, we are. Oh shoot.
Am I just making this up?
No. You said dramatic. I was like, wait, what's going on? What's happening? I'm expecting like a twist of some sort to happen.
I mean, I got this script in my mail. Was that just a joke or was that?
No, we're doing that. Yeah, I forgot. You say dramatics, and I don't think play. I think of.
You think of the band, the Dramatics?
There's a band?
Yeah, the Dramatics. They were doo-wop. They were Philly.
No, I think of
Fabulous Dramatics.
The emotion. I guess it's dramatic and emotion. Feeling?
Dramatic is a feeling.
Yeah, that is what I think of.
Yeah, the Dramatics, man. Come on.
Okay.
That was. They did the song "In the Rain." One of my favorites. In the rain, I wanna go outside. In the rain, it may sound crazy. That's the Dramatics.
Okay.
They were featured on a Snoop. One of the Snoop songs in the mid-'90s, the Fabulous Dramatics. They were in the background of one of the songs on the Dogfather album, I believe. The Dramatics were in the mix. So
I don't know how I missed them.
I don't either, but allow me to introduce you to the Dramatics, the Fabulous Dramatics.
Hot Pants in Summer. Might have to hear that.
It's a fun song. I got it.
Oh no, they did what you see is what you get. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, you're there. You got it. I got another musical artist I'm going to share with you at some point. Hopefully, I can share it with all the people, but I got to figure out the way to do it. But
okay,
this is a new hot one on the scene for me. I'm not familiar with, but man,
all right,
this is one of the strangest situations ever. I can't wait to tell you about it. I can't wait to share it with everybody. I got to figure out how to do it, but I can't wait to share it with everybody. It's exciting. It's exciting when I find new artists I didn't know about. That's always fun. That's always exciting. So we're going to have the dramatics of, not the Fabulous Dramatics, but the dramatics of CJ and Zach's script. Today's script is the Ballad of American Pharaoh, celebrating American Pharaoh, Triple Crown winner, just a few years back. How many years back?
I think 2015. 2015.
Yeah, 5 years? Okay.
Yeah.
The American Pharaoh, what a story. What a story American Pharaoh was. A horse that was thrown onto the scrap heap and bought for $3 at a Family Dollar, I believe. Next thing, is that right? That
sounds right to me.
Okay. The horse was offered on sale at Family Dollar, and somebody bought it, and the next thing you know, he won the Triple Crown. An incredible story of overcoming the odds. And I'm sure that will be dramatized beautifully by you two.
Absolutely.
And hopefully me. I haven't looked at the script yet.
Yeah, you're in there.
Yes. I see now. Okay, good. Perfect. I got actual line. This is oh man, oh wow, that's so exciting. Usually I just have like sound effects. You actually written a line for me. This is very exciting. Okay,
yeah,
all right. I feel like I've earned that. All right,
you have
good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Obviously today we're gonna talk about the more dramatics in the baseball and basketball return.
See, this is what I thought you were talking about when you brought up dramatic. You said dramatics and then mentioned me, and I was thrown. I was like, wait, I don't think I did anything this
I'm just saying dramatics all the way around. There were dramatics in the world of golf yesterday.
Yes, there were.
There were dramatics off the field, though, are the ones that I'm really talking about. Dramatics when it comes to Ja Morant putting himself out there and calling for the removal of a Confederate statue in the center of Murray, Kentucky, where he went to college. A dramatic move that he's hoping will push that issue forward a little bit further. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. So plenty to discuss over the next 3 hours with all of you in the Family Leisure Studios. We're also going to spin that wheel of conversation. We'll take your phone calls and we'll take your texts as well. 67129 on the text. 67129 on the text if you want to get in touch with us. That is the way to do it. You can, if you've never texted us before, make sure you text 56JOIN to 67129 the first time that you text it. You only have to do it one time.
One time.
And then you're good. Ooh, you're snappy right on
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
You've only got to do it one time.
One time. Oh, you threw it at me. I didn't catch it. Oh.
See? Oh, unbelievable. Right. The one time.
One time.
Okay, good. Do it, and you're good. But only once. One. Yeah, easy.
Jump the gun there.
Once you do it, then your number is locked in our system, and you're good to go. So you don't have to do it the singular time that you need to do that, and then you're good. I would suggest saving us as a contact under Sports 56 or Peter and CJ or Similac Zach or some way that you'll know how to get in touch with us. That's really what you need to do. Save that as a contact going forward. You can also dial up on that contact too at 360-8255, 901-360-8255. Plenty of ways to get in touch with us about all of this stuff. Yes, CJ. Dramatics.
Mm-hmm.
Dramatics. But I want to start before we get into the nuts and bolts of all the drama of everything else and the NBA and I got to just give props to Ja Morant right out of the gate. Ja Morant, for those who didn't see it, Saturday morning sent a letter to a judge in Callaway County and somebody that's on the executive board or the board that would ultimately be a decision maker when it comes to taking the statue down, sent a letter to Kenneth Imes. It says, "My name is Ja Morant. I was a student athlete at Murray State University, member of the Racers OVC Conference Championship basketball team, and the second overall pick in the NBA draft by the Memphis Grizzlies. I want to introduce myself to you and share my concern about a symbol of white supremacy, racism, and hate on display in the community. I'm writing to ask that you immediately remove the Confederate statue in the court square of downtown Murray. I am extremely proud of my ties to Murray State. I am honored to have spent 2 years at the university. My college experience positioned me for success and truly helped me achieve my dreams. Murray felt like a second home from the minute I stepped on campus and became part of the Murray State community. It is full of people, families, and students from all different backgrounds. As a young black man, I cannot stress enough how disturbing and oppressive it is to know the city still honors a Confederate war general defending white supremacy and hatred. Given recent events in the Black Lives Matter movement, it's necessary to act now. We can't change the culture of racism unless we change the celebration of racism. Please help us take a stand and remove this symbol of hatred and oppression. Sincerely, Ja Morant." I thought that was awesome. That was awesome. And he, there was a professor. I read Jeff Calkins' piece in the Daily Memphian about there was a professor who had sort of inquired with Ja Morant and with his with the agency and kind of wanted him to throw his name behind this cause, and he didn't hear back from him. And the next thing you know, here comes a letter, just out of nowhere. So I'm I'm thrilled to see that he's doing this. I'm thrilled to see that he's standing up for it, and it's a great thing. It's a great thing, as far as I'm concerned, at least, to see Ja doing this, and I hope I hope the statue comes down as soon as it can possibly come down.
Yeah, ditto. I second that, and the statement that he made about moving past white supremacy and without honoring it, that sentence is really big and really impactful, and that's why those statues have to come down, and they are everywhere. They are in Murray. They were here. Tuskegee is removing one from Tuskegee, which, why? Yeah, you perked up a bit. Why is it taking till 2020 to move it?
Tuskegee has one?
Peter, they're everywhere. Wow. Right in Town Square, where so many of these statues are, to sort of remind black people about what their place is.
Well, and they did just the whole, back in the early 20th century in that neighborhood, they just did a whole bunch. They had a company that was just making these things, for that reason. I mean, basically just to extend white supremacy, to remind black people of, what, quote unquote, they felt their place was, the statue makers and the people that supported it. They wanted that visual reminder. They wanted that all over the place. I mean, again, this is the idea that it has something to do. I mean, even if you felt like, Confederate generals or Confederate heroism in the Civil War was something to be celebrated and honored with a statue, these aren't even that. These aren't even trying to do that. These were just symbols of oppression, essentially, that were put up prefab in a glut to try to send a message to black people all around the South. And so, I mean, I'm not saying that you need a bunch of Confederate symbols. Anyway, this wasn't even really about that, though. This was more about there was I don't know if you saw that somebody uncovered the speech that was given at the founding of one of the statues in Oxford back in like 1907, and the script of the speech, the judge or whoever unveiled the statue, I mean, just made it very clear like what this was all about, even at the time. Talking about Anglo-Saxon dominance and all that stuff. I mean, it just was couldn't have been clearer about what was really going on there. So I think that whole symbol of history and all this is not really accurate in this case. Yeah,
and it's it's one of those things that we can't move forward. If you're telling black people to stop living in the past and move forward and let some of this stuff go, it's hard to do that when you're driving down the street and boom, there's one of those statues, or you're in the park and it's named after one of those types of people, or you're on your university's campus or on your high school's campus and it is named after one of those Confederates, generals or soldiers, or in remembrance of the Confederacy. It's hard to move forward and move past that really difficult moment in our history with so many symbols still around that remind you of that time. Driving, I'll never forget, is it Robert E. Lee's statue? Up in Nashville, the big one with him on the horse with the flags, and you driving east towards Knoxville, Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah.
I'll never forget seeing that statue. Be like, what is that? Why is that there? Like, it's this big, majestic thing. It's huge. It's colossal. And my dad's like, yeah, that's Robert E. Lee. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Well, we need to get home. We can't be out here. And for the longest, I wouldn't go out to Cool Springs because that was real close to the statue. In fact, I think it was a little bit past the statue. I didn't want to kick it in Brentwood, because if that symbol is there, to me it means, hey, we really don't want you out here. And I listen. I was fine. So be it. I don't want to be out there anyway. I don't want to be in places where I'm not wanted anyway, or places that want to do me harm anyway. And so if you still got these statues up and you claim that you want to be inclusive, like you're contradicting yourself. If you still have flags being waved, but you claim that you support all lives, like that's contradictory, because that flag and those statues only support one type of life, and it was for the oppression of another type of life. So you can't be both. It can't be both. And I'm glad that we've reached this point for whatever reason where this stuff is coming down, and people like NASCAR. Peter, I had some folks come over Thursday who I hadn't seen in quite some time, and NASCAR came up. It's like, yo, I never thought I'd see the day. And these are 23, 24-year-olds, 23, 24 young black people. Just like I never thought I'd see the day without flags, Confederate flags waving at NASCAR events. But this is interesting. Now I kind of want to go. I kind of want to go check this stuff out. Like, it matters. It matters. We don't feel comfortable when we see those flags and those statues. So if you're all about trying to include black people into the fabric of American culture, you've got to get rid of that stuff.
It's amazing how the empowerment is so real now that, this is something that I'm sure John Morant and a lot of other folks on Murray's campus, I would assume, in particular black folks, but I'm sure there's a lot of white folks too who are uncomfortable with the idea that this is the representation of Murray. I'm sure that was a point of discussion, and this particular professor has been trying to and they've been trying to get this thing done for a while. The Murray City Council has unanimously voted to remove it, but it's not up to them to actually do it. Just like the statues here and all that, there was the state had to get involved, and there were these commissions and all this stuff. It's if you want to do it, quote unquote legally, then you have to go through all of that. It's and there's a lot of nonsense baked into all those systems. One of the reasons why people just pull the statues down, because that's you've seen how this thing works. The system tends to be rigged against the normal removal of these statues in so many of these cases. I hope that it can come down, but it's that symbolism matters, and we've said it many times before. But the discussions about the historical value of this, it's such a ridiculous discussion to have, because number one, nobody is learning their history primarily from going through a town and looking at statues. That's not how this works. Statues are not a defined given. You don't need to have a certain amount of statues or a certain amount of statues are there if you choose to honor somebody for whatever reason. And if you looked at the Carolina Panthers, they had a large, elaborate statue of Jerry Richardson, former owner, with two Panthers next to him outside the stadium. It was there because he wanted it there. Jerry Richardson basically paid for it and then put in the contract when he sold it to the new owner that they couldn't do anything with it. They couldn't move it. They couldn't put a larger statue next to it. They couldn't do anything with it. Meanwhile, this is a guy that has major sexual impropriety and poor treatment of employees and so on and so forth. All this stuff that is quite negative, and the Panthers would like to get rid of that particular taint of negativity that sits outside their stadium. Well, now finally they got a chance to do it, because they use this whole unrest as, somebody was threatening to take the statue. We better go ahead and take it before someone else does anything with it. And, oh, by the way, we're not going to put it back up.
Right.
And that'll be that on that. And so, people want statues down for all sorts of different reasons. This is the most honorable of reasons. Like, it makes – I don't understand this is not – like, it makes, in general, a lot of people, black people more so, feel very uncomfortable. It is a celebration of all the wrong stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And make no mistake, a statue is a celebration. It's not an honorary thing. You are choosing to note a certain type of history or a certain part of your history that deserves more credit than other parts of your history. That's why you're choosing to put a statue up. You could take a statue if you want, put it in a museum, whatever, and go crazy. I mean, if you want to put all these Confederate things in their proper context, that's no problem. Put them all up, put the flag, put the people up, put them in a museum, have a discussion about what it meant, what was going on. That's cool. I don't think anyone's saying destroy history. Just don't put it out there as the one of the first things that people see when they come into your town.
Yeah, it's not General Lee. It's Nathan Bedford Forrest. That's the dude up in Nashville with the 25-foot statue. Mm-hmm. Just like, okay, yeah, I need to steer clear of this particular part of Nashville. And you're right. Mm-hmm. If you are, if you want to properly contextualize what the Confederacy was and what it meant to this nation at that time and everybody in the nation, including black people, if you wanted to properly do that and then discuss the Jim Crow era South and Reconstruction, then Jim Crow era. Sure, knock it out, and then show how these things were used as symbols of oppression. Fine. If you need to do that, you need to set up that museum. Sure thing. Go ahead and do it. But if you are just naming parks after these people and naming and building monuments and statues to them, that's not going to fly. And I'm real glad that this stuff is coming down now.
I hope it will work. I hope it will work in the case of Murray, Kentucky. As you pointed out, they're all over the place. And we're having this discussion now for the first time in a real substantive way. Other than, I remember, David Fizdale, we talked about it a lot with Fizz and his wife, and they were instrumental in the statue removal here in Memphis, and that whole situation took a while, but they were instrumental. And the discussion around that statue removal is a lot different now than it was then, and that was just 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
3 years.
Man,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
The way this is being discussed it's incredible the level of change. Today, a very exciting day because we had a little audible being called, and we've got a playlist. Monday is Playlist Mondays. Today's playlist comes from. We thought it was going to be Eli, but he can't.
It's Eli.
It's Eli.
It's Eli.
Okay.
It's Eli.
It's Eli. We're making all types of audibles.
What you gave me the?
Because I got the word.
Okay. All right. Well then it's Eli.
It's Eli.
Playlist. Okay.
He's going to join us at 9:30. We're going to talk about it.
Well, good. That was the original plan. Okay. All right. Well, then good. Original plan. Eli's going to join us, talk about his playlist, and that's Eli's playlist. Good. Audible canceled.
Omaha.
Right. Omaha. Regular plan.
Back
at it.
Flip.
We'll start that when we return. Also, we'll talk about all the other challenges facing the NBA and MLB on their returns. And the return of golf, very exciting, too. Lots of good stuff.
Man,
Real Sports Talk.
So close.
Sports 56, 96.1, 77.
It's R&R on sports.
The word is out about R&R on sports, where you've heard interviews from
Ken Griffith Jr., Dr. J, Hank Aaron, and many, many more.
R&R on sports, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1.
Don't miss us.
You know that phrase, giving 110%? Come on now. How can somebody give more than 100%? Seriously, don't you wonder what that even looks like? Well, if you're looking at automobiles, 110% looks an awful lot like Mercedes-AMG. For the last 50 years plus, the motorsport magicians at AMG have been making the impossible possible. From compact sedans and coupes to roadsters and rugged SUVs, they are obsessed with squeezing every last fuel-injected drop of performance out of a vehicle. And even though Mercedes-AMG is the most successful racing team in F1, they're never satisfied. These definitely aren't the kind of people who break their arm patting themselves on the back. They're just too busy honing their craft. And if you want them to try even harder, just tell them that something can't be done. If that's not giving 110%, then perhaps nothing is. Learn more at mbusa.com/AMG. Mercedes-AMG. Driving performance.
Upgrade to luxury. Visit the Umansky Luxury Complex at Ridgeway at 385. Umansky Maserati and Alfa Romeo, Lincoln of Memphis, and Acura of Memphis. One convenient location for incredible brands. Ridgeway and 385. Come see the Italian race-inspired performance of the Stelvio and Ghibli, precision-crafted performance of the RDX and MDX, or the amazing new Aviator, Navigator, or Nautilus. Rates as low as 0%. Payments from $279. 90 days until your first payment at the Umansky Luxury Complex at Ridgeway and 385. Well qualified buyers. Offers cannot be combined.
It's becoming a new habit since I got my RecTech grill. Picking up my smartphone, opening the app, and controlling my RecTech grill remotely from anywhere. You'll like the habit too. Cooking and smoking at the touch of your finger with a grill that uses 100% real wood. So simple, really cool because it does most of the work on its own without me. Just a few reasons why I love my RecTech grill. Built like a tank, 80 pounds heavier than the leading competitors. We've all been spending more quality time with family. Why not invest in something that is great for them and great for you? It is a game changer. Summer's here. Great times around the grill. Why not get yourself a RecTech grill? RecTech, far and away, the best bang for your buck. RecTech, built by grillers for grillers. Go to their website at rectechgrills.com. That's RecTechgrills.com. TECgrills with an S.com.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Rolling down a backwoods Tennessee byway. One arm on the wheel.
I knew this would be Eli's first track out of the gate. I knew it. If I could have bet, I would have bet all the money I had that this was going to be Eli's first track right out of the gate. Dixieland Delight. I mean, come on. Gotta love this. Listen to that Alabama harmony. Did Eli put any playlist notes or anything? Did he add any?
He'll join us at 9:30.
Oh, no, I just want to know if there's any annotations. Just
no,
before we get started. Okay.
he didn't. He didn't send me any type of note or annotations with it. So
okay,
we'll get him at 9:30. He'll explain it, break it down.
I got you. I know we're going to 9:30. Just thought it might be a little. It's 7:30 right now. So people may not be able to join us at 9:30.
I know you know. I was telling the people.
Okay. Well,
and if they can't join us at 9:30,
I know you know that they know, but we know now that you know that I know that he knows that we need. I want to know annotations. That's all.
Got you. And again, if you can't make it at 9:30, no problem. Just catch the podcast.
Catch that sweet, sweet pod that we're going to put up for you. No problem. Now, we talked about John Morant. He is a member of the Memphis Grizzlies, who are a member of the NBA. And the NBA, CJ, you may know, is the Professional Basketball Association trying to return to action next month. But that return to action is becoming a little more complicated than people might have initially thought. With meeting over the weekend, Kyrie Irving on Friday kind of instituting or kind of orchestrating, I guess, a meeting in which 80 or so players got together and discussed why they probably should not resume the season, and why and what resuming the season would the negative consequences of resuming the season after the NBA and the Players Association and some reps have pushed playing. And this is where the fact that there are 450 or so members of the NBPA, many of whom have totally different motivations. They all have different bank accounts. You have the very top end guys who are making hundreds of millions of dollars overall, and you have the very bottom end guys who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if that. They're wide variety of opinions, wide variety of people, wide variety of. So it's no surprise that there's going to be some disagreement. But Kyrie Irving, being involved is always interesting because Kyrie has so many interesting opinions. Some of them well thought out, some of them less well thought out. Dwight Howard is also another very vocal member of this group. He has said no basketball until we get things resolved, get things to a better place in the country when it comes to racial togetherness and harmony and being good to each other and all that stuff. To which I would say, I guess, we're looking for another 400 years. What's the timetable on that? Because that's a very complicated issue. I hope we can solve it. I mean, I'm hopeful, but that's a little open ended for for my liking when it comes to that verbiage. So the point that Kyrie's making is, this thing is it's a distraction, and not in a good way. It's a distraction. It distracts people from the Black Lives Matter cause. It distracts people from the causes of fighting institutional racism and fighting outlets of white supremacy and of continuing this discussion. And we've talked about in just this last segment about how different the the climate is, how different the dialogue has been, how different all these discussions have been. And, Kyrie and others in his group feel like, well, if we come back, then the discussion just simply goes back to how do we play on the court? What happened on the court? What happened in the playoffs? What happened in this? What happened in that? And that platform that you might get to be able to make a statement is going to be overwhelmed by the people just, talking about the actual sporting event that took place. And so they say, we don't want to come back. The consequences of that, we'll talk about those in a minute. What did you make of the argument?
This is an argument or a discussion, not an argument. It's a discussion that takes place for me at every cookout I go to, at every family event, function, holiday dinner, just hanging out with folks. That eventually, at some point, barbershop. Eventually, at some point in time, it gets to a conversation that is this type of thing, where it is, hey, if we as black people come together and stop. Be it stop for and don't play a football game in the case of the football players after the president insulted them, calling them SOBs, or in the case of the NBA when Donald Sterling, all that news broke and people wanted the Clippers and Golden State, Warriors, right? Yeah, not to play. Or in the case of so many other instances, Missouri football team coming together and people not wanting them to play. Eventually, it gets to this conversation where it is we as black people, if we all just stopped, if we all just didn't go to work one day, or if we just all no call, no show, if we all didn't spend money on Black Friday, like what would that do? Would people then hear our legitimate grievances and do something to change them? It always gets back to this point right here. And I think that one of the things that has changed, and just 4 years ago, you brought it up, just 4 years ago, we were having this conversation and nothing was getting done about taking down Confederate statues. And now all of a sudden things are coming down. Statues are coming down. Why is that? Get to the heart of the why. Is it because, and we've all speculated, and one of the things we speculated on is, hey, there's nothing else going on. There's nothing to distract anybody. So you have to listen. You do. It is one thing to use your platform to speak for the voiceless. It is another thing entirely to have a platform that speaks over the voiceless. The voiceless are being heard right now. The people are talking, and folks are listening to what the people on the ground, the people on these streets are saying. They don't need any more voices. They're speaking for themselves now. Folks are beginning to listen, and they're beginning to take action. So I understand what Kyrie and others are saying. They don't want to come in and then provide a distraction for others. They don't want to come in and speak over the movement right now. And just by going out there and playing basketball, I think it would distract us a little bit from everything going on. We're still protesting. Let that sink in. I saw a protest in Philly, and you couldn't see the street for all the people.
Brooklyn, same way.
Just Brooklyn, Philly, L.A., Minnesota, Minneapolis, of course, Louisville, of course. Memphis is still protesting. Nashville just had, 20,000 people out in the streets protesting? Like that is amazing. That is wild. And so this is the moment for things to happen. This is
Little
a moment
towns
for.
Too, by the way, we're talking like Harrison, Arkansas, which is we're talking like, that's Boise, Idaho. We're talking like
like what? Places,
and we're talking well over I think it's 1,100 or 1,200 different towns have had a Black Lives Matter rally of some kind. That's
Texas. What's it, Vidor?
Yeah.
Which is all white, and the sign for in the 80s. This is in the 80s. The sign read, "Known for our black soil and for our white people." Like that was that town, and they're out there protesting. This is amazing. So what Dwight Howard? I don't know what Dwight Howard's looking for. I don't know what Kyrie is looking for. I know what the people on the streets that are taking a part of these protests are looking for. They're looking for an end in mandatory minimums. They're looking for an end in the militarization of police. They're looking for an end. This really needs to end. The no-knock warrants. They're looking to end that. They're looking to end civil asset forfeiture. They're looking to end qualified immunity. They're looking to make fundamental sweeping changes to the Justice Department. And Kyrie and others don't want to talk over them. Their voices, I'm not sure if they need to be amplified. the voice of the people, because we are listening to the people. And at the start of all of this, the conversation was, well, what needs to happen? We all need to listen. Folks need to listen and take these complaints seriously. And folks are listening for whatever reason. If you can think of another reason outside of there not being a whole lot of entertainment around, I'd like to hear it. But for me, I think that it is they're hand in hand. Things are getting done. People are listening because there is no other form of entertainment right now. There is nothing to distract them. And so Kyrie and others want to make sure that we continue to move forward in this movement. And the movement, this part of the movement, can end if you pass laws and bills and legislation that do all of the things I listed and defund the police. That I think that is what they want. Now, it does not help that it is Kyrie and Dwight Howard that are the face of this. I mean, that just doesn't help. But, like, I agree with it, and I understand where they are coming from.
I mean, it's an interesting situation. You know, it does speak to it, though, because I'm thinking about, you know, this was back in 2017, so 3 years ago. You had David Fisdale with Black Lives Matter shirt in front of the Nathan Bedford Forrest statues, and you know, this kind of stuff, and it was pretty controversial at that time. Yeah, this was 3 years ago. Pretty controversial. Like, a lot of people were uneasy with him, and the team did not stop him from doing this. They did not, publicly at least, reprimand him or anything like that. But they also did not, to my knowledge, come out with any kind of a statement in support. There was no, prominent, hey, this is a great thing, and we're with him, and any of that stuff. But 3 years later now, everyone has got their, all these teams have some form of statement about this, some form of support of this kind of stuff. And it is just incredible. It's an incredible change. And if you went back and played basketball, would that go back to the norm? Would those messages start to get diluted by the basketball part of this discussion? Would those messages start to get diluted by just playing basketball? That is the argument. Now, when we return, I'll explain why it's a lot more complicated than that. And that's already complicated enough, but there's other factors that make it even more complicated. So we'll talk about that when we return. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The gourmet chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
There's a new commissary in town. In Collierville, Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Ugh, my stomach.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Try new Pepto-Bismol Chews. The same fast relief of Pepto-Bismol, now in a delightful chew.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This Father's Day, give Dad the gift of style with an Untuckit shirt. Untuckit has reimagined the traditional dress shirt to fit a more casual lifestyle. With over 50 sizes, they can fit any body out there. Shop their button-downs, polos, Henleys, and more. Visit Untuckit.com and help Dad look sharp even at his most casual. Or visit one of their 50 stores that are now reopened for business. Use code SUMMER for 20% off your next order with free shipping and returns. Untuckit.com, the place to go this Father's Day. Code SUMMER.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
The boy can play. Yeah. All right. It's Dire Straits. Yeah. The Walk of Life. You do the Walk of Life. All right, Eli. This is Eli Savoy's playlist on a Playlist Monday.
Hey, get your playlist played. Email us 56playlist@gmail.com. 56playlist. No S on the end of that @gmail.com. If we choose your playlist, we'll play it on Playlist Monday, and we'll get you a nice little prize set up.
Very nice. 56playlist@gmail.com. Now, we talked about the complications of the NBA's inter-player discussions, let's say, about coming back to play. Now, here's the other framework of this, though. If the players elect – now, individual players can elect not to play under the existing framework that the league has put out there, and they will not be punished for that. They just won't get paid for that. So if they choose not to go down to the bubble in Orlando, then they won't get paid, but they won't also get, fired or, any sort of contractual stuff like that. They won't have to pay back the existing whatever money they've got, all that stuff. So that's on an individual level. But if the players choose not to play, we've talked about before about what the cost of taking a stand, and we've seen lots of players in the past have to endure lots of costs, financial, physical, and so on. Well, there would be a financial cost to this decision, and a big one, potentially. If the players choose not to play, then that would cancel this season, which would cost the players the remaining escrow money that they have plus 25% of their salaries. So this would cost them about 35%. 10% of all salaries are held in escrow until the end of the season. For accounting purposes and all that stuff, that money would disappear along with the other 25%. So you're talking about 30 to 35% of player salary money in total would just whoosh, vanish off the face of the earth. That's everybody. Then that would also kick in the force majeure provision within the collective bargaining agreement, which would allow the owners to unilaterally rip up the existing collective bargaining agreement and then force the players to renegotiate a new collective bargaining agreement that would likely be not particularly favorable given the economic climate that we are in right now. Now would not be a very good time to renegotiate a deal like that because there's so much uncertainty and so much difficulty, which means that would probably have a very contentious discussion and negotiation and may well lead to the end of the next season as well. Next season would very much be jeopardized under that scenario. And you're talking literally billions of dollars for the players, for the owners as well. But in this case, where the players would be the ones making this decision. So billions of dollars, CJ, would be on the line in addition to years of people's careers. So This is this is a big moment, is what I'm saying. There's a lot to talk about, and this is a big moment right now.
Yeah, and it's part of the nature of the beast in a way, and that this is also where it inevitably gets to at those cookouts and those family conversations where, okay, we are going to give up so much. You know, we are going to, if we don't shop on Black Friday, if we don't buy anybody's gifts for Christmas, that means we're going through Christmas and nobody's getting anything. If you're asking NFL players to not play on Sunday, well, they're losing game checks and God knows what else would have happened in that particular situation. If you're asking me to not watch the NFL, why should I not watch on Sunday if they're out there playing? That he called them SOBs. Why would they decided to go out there and play? So what I look like not watching? Like this is where that sacrifice is really hard, especially when you are actually going to lose something and be made really, really uncomfortable. But I think back to, and that's why I can't tell them what to and not to do. Like I can't tell you how to go about proving your point. As long as it's peaceful, we good. Outside of that, I can't tell you to say it'd be silly of me with nothing invested, with no millions invested or on the line to be like, hey, millionaires, you guys shouldn't be playing. Like that would be wrong of me. But I wouldn't in that particular situation. And I think back to a lot of the boycotts that took place during the civil rights movement. Like not riding the bus for these people was really, really hard. That meant they walked everywhere they needed to go. That means when they went across town to work in different neighborhoods, they had to walk there or carpool there or do something that was less comfortable and much more inconvenient than simply hopping on a bus and rolling through. Like that is big. That is huge. And I don't know if we'll ever get to that point to where we as black people will ever move in unison like that. But even that was just one town, one city. That this wasn't asking everybody. Muhammad Ali took his stand, but other black athletes at that time continued to go out there and play. Those fists went up in Mexico City in '68, but black athletes continue to go out there and play professionally. You'll get a handful of black athletes who say, no, I'm not going to go out there and entertain until we make real changes to the status quo around here. You'll get a handful of those every now and then, but for the most part, black athletes continue and black entertainers and entertainers as a whole continue to go out there and perform no matter what. I expect this to be a lot of talk and them to figure out a way to have basketball while continuing to amplify and point out the voices in the streets of the people protesting and marching.
You think you can do that?
If you're creative, you can. You have to think about it. I mean, every commercial break, you throw a commercial in there, at least one commercial. Players, I've seen this, put a Black Lives patch on the jersey, even do something with the court. That there are ways to do it to where even though you're watching basketball, this is in your face. It's got to be in your face for it to not lead to a moment where basketball is overtaking, or sports in general is overtaking, a really important conversation that we need to be having and that we are having and people are listening to.
Yeah, I still don't think it would. I think it would distract. Because I think people, as we saw with the Colin Kaepernick discussion, and he made it crystal clear, working with Nate Boyer, a veteran, somebody. I mean, he designed a protest that was supposed to be not controversial in that sense, like reverential, and not just sitting down, but actually kneeling and trying to, depict more of a prayerful approach, that kind of thing, and made it very clear what he was protesting, and people went out of their way to be distracted. So if you give them any slight opportunity to be distracted, they're going to be distracted. You put basketball out there, they're going to be distracted. Because they're going to make themselves distracted. They're going to make sure they're distracted. That's the nature of it. So, this is the power of this would be, we have completely removed all potential distractions. Therefore, you have to listen because you will distract yourself. It's like when you're on a diet, the only way to make sure you don't eat cookies is to never have cookies in your house.
Right.
If you have even if you hide them, even if you put them in the back, you're going to go find those cookies at some point.
Mm-hmm.
This is taking away the cookies. We're the house. There's no cookies in the house. We gotta get on this plan, and we got to be real about it. That's the only way. Now it's going to cost a lot. It's going to be extremely. But I wasn't telling Colin Kaepernick. And I think there's a lot of writers and a lot of sports talk people need to be very careful about trying to tell these young black men how to That's not for me to say. You can protest. As long as everyone knows what the consequences are and all that stuff, or what's at stake. Hey, listen, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm interested. But that discussion is not for me to have. It's not for me to tell them what they should or shouldn't do. That's not my call.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just say that. Hour number 2 on the way, we'll talk about the exciting situation in golf. Some interesting thoughts from a former Grizzly on some of these issues that have come forward. A lot of interesting talk here as well about how we are starting to resume things locally. We'll get into all of that. Major League Baseball continues to be unable to get out of its own way. We'll discuss that and more as we continue. Hour number 2. Plus, we've got a little dramatics from CJ and Zach about American Pharaoh. Wheel of Conversation, lots more. Very busy. And Eli's going to join us to talk his playlist at 9:30. So, man, lots to get to as we continue. We're Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Do you get into bed and find your mind still going? If so, try ZzzQuil Pure Z's liquid melatonin. It's made with an optimal level of melatonin for no next day grogginess. Pure Z's liquid melatonin, because sleep is a beautiful thing, at stores now.
Nerds. NerdWallet presents Money Questions, the lightning round. Here we go, Carol. How can people compare the best credit cards?
Turn to the nerds.
Should you pay off debt or save for retirement?
Turn to the nerds.
One more. Should I listen to my father-in-law's advice on mortgage lenders?
Turn to the nerds.
You win! Woo! Confetti is literally falling from the sky.
I'm going to put my winnings in a 2-year CD.
That would be prudent, Carol.
From helpful tools to expert guidance, for all your money questions, turn to the nerds at nerdwallet.com. And MLS ID number 1617539.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. Soon you'll have a separate fridge in the basement where extra groceries are exiled forever. Remember that frozen lasagna? Of course you don't. It's been down there since 2008. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance. Piece of cake. Behind the lasagna, it's very old. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Gateway Tire and Service Centers has a beautiful new state-of-the-art location at 5275 Summer Avenue. And for the entire month of June, the new location on Summer has a great Father's Day special. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th at no charge. Visit the new Gateway Tire and Service Center with 28 bays for quick service, super safe with curbside service or lounge seating 6 feet apart. Check out gatewaytireservice.com for coupons too. The new Gateway Tire and Service Center, 5275 Summer Avenue. Call Matt for details. 901-683-8335.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between, in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I buy houses.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Muskogee or hello, darling. Lord, I wonder who's gonna fill their shoes. Who's gonna fill their shoes?
Oh.
Who's gonna stand that tall?
Okay.
Who's gonna play the Opry and the Wabash Cannonball? Who's gonna give
I don't think I've ever heard this before.
I haven't either.
Zach, who's this?
This is George Jones.
George Jones. Who's going to fill their shoes?
Yes.
You can usually tell the names of country songs. I will say that makes it easier. Okay. George Jones. That's Eli's playlist. Eli Savoy making the playlist Monday. Eli's going to join us at 9:30 to talk about his playlist. This is hour number 2 of the program in the Family Leisure Studios. I am Peter. He is CJ. That is Similac Zach playing Eli's favorite hits. George
This is
Jones
like legit country.
Yeah, that's country.
That you got to know country to play that.
George Jones is a class. That's George Jones classic. Yeah, that's classic country right there. That's
not this pop country.
No. There's no question. So we were talking about a dramatic weekend for sure. Dramatics abounding in the ether. All that stuff, right?
Yes.
Zach knows what I'm talking about. See, that's all this on the Zoom. If you're watching on Periscope, you can see my hand gestures are amplifying the effect of what I'm discussing right here. We're talking about the NBA and whether or not the players will play. And if they return, what does it mean? If they do return, if they choose not to return, what does that mean? It's a very complicated issue. I think this week, CJ, is going to be the defining time of it. Because they're going to have to, if they're going to play, then they got to start getting everything going. Mm-hmm. I mean, we haven't even talked about the health considerations. We haven't even talked about that part of it either.
How many cases have gone down?
Have they?
I would assume so. Everybody's moving about like, you know.
I got some bad.
We're about to go into phase 3, and we're doing things now.
I got some bad news
close
for you,
to
CJ.
opening all the way back up. I'm assuming that in a society that said, had its leaders say we are going to look at numbers and let the stats drive, we're going to be data driven. That we are opening up because the data says, hey, we're seeing a steady decrease in this thing. For some reason, the sun and the heat and the overall atmospheric temperature of everything is really doing a number on this coronavirus pandemic, and so there aren't many cases. So we're going to open back up. What's there to talk about from a health standpoint?
Yeah, you would think that would be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting fun fact. Actually, not fun at all. Very unfun fact. It's not going down.
Oh, it's not?
Oh,
no. Okay.
It's actually going up. Alarmingly so in some areas. And, here it's alarmingly moving up, but also 22 states, I think. I think we're adding in 6 more potentially. So we're up to about half the country is back in the up department, moving in the wrong direction. Florida being one of those, and Orange County in particular, where this happens to be taking place. So we haven't even talked about the health considerations of bringing players and then potentially their families, a month later. Well, first of all, you're separating players and all that from their families for a month, which is, that happens. That's, you have jobs that have to do that. That's not ideal, but that's not unprecedented. But then bringing your family back down there, is that going to be safe for them? Then if you add more people to the bubble, is that safe back for the other I mean, it's an incredibly complex thing to figure out from a health standpoint. We haven't even talked about the health aspect of it because we're talking about whether this is going to serve as a distraction from the ongoing protests, the movement, the Black Lives Matter movement that is really strongly taking root in the nation. So I don't, between those two things, CJ, and then but then the fact that you've got literally billions of dollars and potentially a league as we know it that hangs in the balance if they choose not to. But there's plenty of compelling reasons not to. This is man, I mean, this is like amongst the most difficult decisions imaginable. I mean, there's a lot to consider.
Oh, so very, very much to consider. And it is like these numbers are going up and hospitals are being told, hey, get ready. Start getting ready, become familiar with the emergency protocols because it's looking like this second wave is going to hit any minute now in a lot of these states. Like you said, 22 states. So be ready. And in the midst of all of that, you're trying to finish an NBA season from an owner standpoint so you can get as much money as humanly possible, and from a player standpoint so you don't have the situation pop off that you brought up in the last segment of the first hour where you're jeopardizing your earnings for the next year and the foreseeable future after that because they can void the CBA. And they being the NBA and the owners can void the CBA, and you got to renegotiate the new CBA, and then you'll be fighting forever to try and get this money back that you've worked so hard over the past several decades to get players. So it's a lot that's going into this, and I understand that everybody wants to see basketball and understand financially people want to play basketball, but man, this situation keeps going from bad to worse. It just keeps on doing that. It keeps on going from, okay, it might be a good time to start talking about these things. And nope, it is not. 2-3 weeks later, it is not. When the NBA put the date on it, 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, when the NBA put the date on it, we didn't know 2 weeks from now this is where we'd be sitting. We didn't know that cases would be going up in Orange County and in Florida specifically at the rate that they are going up. And so you have to go date. You can't go date-wise. You got to go data-wise and look at the numbers and say, hey, when we get numbers that show a steady decline, then we can go. Then it'll be, hey, we're going to start opening up training camps, and if something happens, we'll shut it back down again. But you can't do that because we aren't set up from a society standpoint to live that way. We are a very date-driven society, not a numbers-driven society.
Well, and the league is driven by the date because they can't push it back
any further
that far, because then it's basically you would cancel the season because then you're going into the you can't finish the 19-20 season in 2021. That doesn't make any sense. So no, there is a date that you have to kind of have something going here, but. I don't think that that doesn't minimize the discussion here. I think it's a fascinating discussion about whether this would be that level of distraction, whether you'd still be able to get your point across in the same way with the same level of effectiveness. And I'll just be honest, I don't think you can. I think once you start playing, I think you dilute that message. Now, is that worth the cost benefit analysis of doing that? Financially and all that stuff, is the cost of all that money, of all of that stability, of all of that whatever you want to talk about, is that worth it? I don't know. I think that's a really difficult decision, but that's a real question about all of this stuff. I think to me that's a major thing. And that's why it's a really hard decision, because I really do. I think in this case, Kyrie and Dwight Howard and Solomon Hill, former Grizzly, came out and said in a bunch of tweets. They weren't even well publicized, but they were mentions that people. They were replies to people that had talked to him. In his Solomon Hill's not a major star by any stretch of the imagination, but he said we wore "I Can't Breathe" T-shirts. We met with local police. Nothing moved. Nothing came from it at all. We shouldn't have to give money continuously to communities. Our government has more than enough to do so, to build up its citizens the same way it built others. Donating all of our salary? Money isn't an issue. If you're a broke NBA player, that's your own fault. No such amount of money is enough, and why is it an NBA player's responsibility to commit funds? Kyrie is saying at this exact moment the world is watching, and we are forcing them to listen. Cap gave up everything to try and fight. Maya Moore continues to fight, but because the NBA is a leader in fan engagement, we should just return to work? So the weird part about this is there's no clear-cut path to justice. The formula has been tried and tested numerous times, mainly because the system was never made with us in mind. There will be decisions that will need to be made. Nobody took a knee in the NBA for Cap. The system wants everyone just to fall in line, no questions asked. Even think of all the companies that pledged or have given money that have already established themselves after already profiting off of black culture. It's like giving out loans. So, his take is we got to do more. What we've tried other things that hadn't worked. If we go back, it's just going to be the same thing that we've done before. There have been lots of companies that have said they're going to do all kinds of stuff, and at the end of the day, they didn't change the culture of what they've actually done. So what really changed with regard to black people in this country? Status quo ain't going to work anymore, is what he's saying. And that's probably representative of a fair few players in this discussion.
Yeah, and it is sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing. And in some circumstances, it is nothing. And so if you, as an entertainer, have viewed yourself as somebody who speaks on behalf of people who don't have a voice, when those people get a voice, it's now your job not to talk over them. Mm-hmm. And so I understand. I can't tell anybody if it's worth it or not. This is in your heart. This is on you. You decide that whether or not losing all of this money is worth it. It's easy for me, somebody with no money, comparatively speaking, to say, hey, go out there. My life isn't that bad. Do it. Lose all your money. Lose all your wealth. You'll be fine. You can live like I live. Because I've never gotten to that point of wealth. So I can't sit up here and pass that on.
Zach would know.
Zach would know. Zach asked, but no, I can't say that. But it is going to take away from the attention of the protests, which are still going on. I don't think that it's getting near the coverage that it did at the start of it for many reasons. One, the looting and rioting appears to have stopped. And two, we got a short attention span. And so we look for the next story. We look for the next thing to pop up, the next big thing to take away or distract us from what's going on in our lives. But people are still across the country. People are still out here in these streets protesting, looking for meaningful change, looking to end the no-knock warrants, looking to defund police departments and create other departments of public safety so that police officers aren't asked to be dog catchers and mental health experts on top of everything else that they do. Social workers on top of everything else that they do. So we are that those are real things that can happen, real things that in this moment with everybody watching and everybody listening to what the people of these streets, the for so long, the voiceless, the disenfranchised, the people are looking at them and asking them what they want and listening and hearing them out in those sort of conversations. So for an NBA player, for any entertainer who has prided themselves on speaking up for the disenfranchised in this moment when the disenfranchised are speaking for themselves, it is important not to talk over them. Now, how can the NBA do that while still having a season? Because from looks of things, COVID is not going to stop this train from rolling. How can you do that? I brought up the commercials every break, the patches, Black Lives Matters on the floor, put names of people on the floor on the scoreboard, or not the scoreboard, the scorer's table or something like that, so that it's always there and in the forefront of everybody's mind. But at the end of the day, when that game ends, the conversation will not be about the killings of black people, the killings of black people by folks policing their communities. The conversation will be, oh my gosh, LeBron James had another triple-double. Or did you see what Luka Doncic did? Did you see Ja Morant dunk over so-and-so and so forth? Those will be the conversations, and I think that is the message that Kyrie and others want to get across. Again, it would be really helpful if this movement was not spearheaded by Kyrie Irving, because of the way we tease Kyrie for the thoughts that he has, and also Dwight Howard. But when you have a player as respected as Solomon Hill, not a superstar by any means, but he is really respected. When you have
the veteran, I mean, he was a veteran presence in the Grizzly locker room with Ja. He was one of the guys that was, talking and having Ja kind of at the beginning of the season, helping him out. So
you have Lou Williams coming out and speaking. Steven Jackson is talking about a retired NBA player coming out. These guys are respected in the NBA. They're behind this also. This is not just some wacky third eye being opened. This is real, and it's a real concern and a real conversation that they're having.
Yeah, I think just when you were talking, there was a lot of I'm kind of thinking about what you're saying, and kind of mulling it over in my mind. I think because I'm envisioning when you're talking about, like, okay, if the NBA comes back and they have patches on the jerseys, they have the court is adorned with the names of those that have been killed by police brutality. You have some kind of commemoration. You have ceremonies. Pregame, halftime. You have other. All of that I think would certainly increase. Would certainly give awareness to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that it would serve to what you're talking about, to talk over the people who are talking right now and whose voices are being heard, because their voices are being heard because of the silence and the distractions that are no longer there. You can finally hear those people, and those voices are actually being heard. And this would contradict that, and no matter how you did it. But I think it also brings up a bigger issue. Something else that I've been thinking about, because when I watch these sports, I watch golf, I watch the return of golf is very exciting and all that stuff. But it feels like these sorts of entertainment outlets, stuff that you have to, at least for me, I can't speak for everyone, but on a personal level, it feels to me like if I'm not in a place where I'm satisfied, happy, or some kind of, I feel okay, it's hard for me just to sit down and enjoy entertainment for 3-4 hours and turn my brain off without feeling like I'm distracting myself from something that I need to be taken care of. Like if I'm having some stuff going on, or if there's an issue, an argument, a conflict that's happening in my relationship, or my wife, or my kids, or whatever. Like, it's hard for me to just turn that off, because I feel like I'm not doing that service, and I can't. It's hard for me right now to enjoy, just turn that off and just sit and watch the sports, because they're a constant reminder of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the silence in the crowd, or the lack of a crowd, all those adornments that you talk about,
and soccer,
and that's in golf and soccer. But all those adornments that you were talking about that would be on the court in your theory, all that stuff, to me, that would just raise awareness to me that this is something that we haven't really dealt with, that we're kind of distracting ourselves from. Yeah, that to me would. I don't feel like we've done the work to get ourselves to the point where we can enjoy that without, I don't think guilt is the right word, but I think some kind of awareness of that we are being detrimental to that experience. We're being detrimental to that to that end product. And if we think that at the end of the day that's more important to keep that money and to keep that economy rolling in or whatever, then I guess that's the decision you have to make. But I think you just have to be real with the idea that it would be detrimental to it. I don't think you can delude yourself, and I don't think these players can delude themselves into thinking that you can have the exact same impact because we've seen more movement and more change and more societal movement and more. I mean, it's been an unbelievable month in terms of public opinion on this stuff and how people feel about it and actual legislation that's being passed in states all across the country. I mean, some significant changes have already taken place. That's big. I think the moment we get away from that, we have to know that that's going to have a detrimental impact on that. Is that worth it? I mean, maybe it is. Maybe the money is that important. I mean, it certainly would be horrible, for me personally. I would hate it. I mean, I would love to have the NBA back under the right circumstances. I would love to have the NBA back. I love to cover the stuff. I love the sport. But I mean, I'm just kind of talking honestly to you. It would. I still think that would detrimentally that would impact it negatively. So you gotta weigh that, man. You just have to some that might be worth it, but I think you have to be real about what it is that you're sacrificing. It could be from a health standpoint, there could be sacrifices, but from a movement and societal pressure standpoint, there's sacrifices too. If you think they're worth it, so be it. I can't tell you. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. If you don't think they are, same thing. So be it. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But this is one of the most consequential decisions that I can remember in a long time for so many folks.
Yeah, and it's 2020, man. It keeps just when you think all the twists and turns are over, here comes another one. It's every other day, at least 2 times a week. This society, as I know it, as I understand it, changes on me all of a sudden, just swiftly. And I'm be honest, some of the changes I'm here for. I am welcoming the thought and the idea of Confederate statues and monuments and flags being taken down, and I welcome the thought of real major criminal justice reform. I'm here for both of those things, and I hope that everybody thinks about, with everybody who has a large platform, I hope that they are all thinking about how best to continue this moving forward and realize that right now the people who they've spoken on behalf of for so long, who have been disenfranchised and have been silenced for so long, have a voice right now, and that is important not to talk over them.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's a big week. It's going to have to happen soon. There's going to have to be some kind of I don't know if there's going to be consensus, because it's there's people all over the map on this thing. And that's one thing that a lot of folks, in the discussion of this don't always get, CJ, is, not all white people are the same. Not all black people are the same. Not all Hispanic people are the same. Not all basketball players are the same. Not everybody's different. And there is no unilateral thought from quote unquote NBA players. NBA players are all different types of dudes. You got extremely wealthy dudes. You have guys that aren't very wealthy at all because they, don't make a whole lot of money comparatively, and they got a whole bunch of expenses, and they don't, all that stuff. So there's lots of guys that are damn near broke, and then there's lots of guys that are, Vince Carter out here with a 28,000 square foot. They're all different types of people. So there's not going to be, unanimity. There's not going to all just be, we're all 100 to 100% on this one. It's going to be a 51-49 kind of thing. And there's going to be some dudes that are going to be vocal, and they're not going to like it, and they're going to let people know one way or the other. So I think it's just going to be messy, no matter how it happens. The cynic in me says that they're going to find a way to play, because there's just too much money not to.
I think that's the realist. I don't know how cynical that is.
Well,
that's the real. They're going to play.
They're going to find a way to play, but I don't know. There's legitimate reasons to think that there is some momentum, perhaps not to, more so than I would have thought. We'll see. We'll talk a little bit about that golf ending as well.
Got some of your texts to get to as well.
Text to 67129. We're going to get to them too. We're going to hear more from Eli's playlist too.
Yes.
Spin that wheel of conversation, and we got the dramatics all coming up too. So lots to get to. Family Leisure Studio, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Check out Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 96.1 FM and 87.7 FM.
folks, Bob Burke coming for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. Lots of vehicles to choose from at Sunrise. Trucks, SUVs, late model used cars, and cars under $10,000. Rebates up to $6,500, interest rates low as 0%, and immediate financing available. Come on in, call, or go online to sunrisememphis.com. You can schedule an appointment, select your vehicle, appraise your trade-in, arrange financing, and delivery. We'll deliver right to your doorstep. All cars disinfected and ready to go. Need service or body work? Bring it to Sunrise or go online to schedule an appointment. Sunrise, Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Family Leisure's here to make staying at home more enjoyable for you and your family this summer. Complete pool packages starting at $15.99. 24-foot pools only $19.99. 4-person spas starting at $19.99. Swim spas starting at under $10,000. We are offering contactless purchasing, deliveries, and curbside pickup. Give us a call to schedule an appointment or to place an order. Stay safe with Family Leisure.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the Build Your Own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
You're more focused than ever on keeping your employees and customers safe. Cintas has the products and services you need to feel prepared. Our Cintas technicians can apply our disinfectant and sanitizer spray throughout your facility. Our Ultra Clean service for restrooms uses a sanitizer effective against certain germs, bacteria, and viruses. And we'll help you stay well-stocked with hand sanitizer, face masks, and essential PPE. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Anyone who builds, remodels, or repairs for a living, we know the way you work has changed. That's why Lowe's is committing today to build new ways to keep you working tomorrow. We are proud to introduce the new Lowe's for Pros job site, powered by Stream, an augmented video chat tool so you can be there for your customers without actually being there. And the cost to use? Try it free through October 31st at lowesforpros.com/proloyalty. Just one of the reasons why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Services subject to Stream terms. Lowe's loyalty membership required. More terms apply.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
All 7 and we'll watch them fall.
Okay.
They stand in the way
Okay.
of love and we will smoke them all with an intellect and a savoir-faire. No one in the whole
I'm not sure I saw this one.
I didn't.
Sure I saw this one
I
coming.
knew he was going to have something in there that was going to be a little different.
All right. I like it. I love Eli throwing us a little curveball.
Yes.
We got some texts?
Got some text on the First Bank text line, 67129.
Wait, hold on. Hang on one second. I forgot to ask. Zach, how would you deal with losing all your money on this? As a wealthy individual, Scrooge McDuck style, how would you deal with losing all your money?
I don't know.
Jeopardizing all that money, I mean, it's tough. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money to lose, like all at once. I probably would cry because it's all gone.
Sounds right. Yep.
I probably will cry. Then I have to go definitely take it to God because I'm trying to figure out like why in the world all this
You
money.
getting Jesus involved?
Yes, he has to be involved. He has to be. I gotta figure out why. Like, am I supposed to be Job in this situation? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Could be Job in it. Yep.
Oh,
Job style.
Sounds like a rap song.
Job style.
Job style.
Job style, man. Got to figure out why.
All right. So what about the texts?
First text says, if the NBA never played again, it wouldn't change life as we know it. Life goes on. The players would suffer, not the average citizen. Owners would start another business and continue making money. Oftentimes, money is a motivator. Another text says, CJ, we need a Martin Luther King Jr. I'm not sure there's a professional athlete that can do what he did. And even doing what, this is me talking now, that's the end of that text, even doing what Dr. King did, and don't get me wrong, it's phenomenal, it's amazing. It wasn't all black people, though. Like, we all weren't moving to the same beat of that Dr. King drum. And this goes to your point earlier, Peter, about the NBA being a collection of individuals, and it's going to, everybody's not thinking the same way on this. There are some people who think they should play. There are some who think that they shouldn't, and they're going to talk this thing out. We aren't a monolith. We're not ever going to get to, we being black people, aren't ever going to get to a consensus on how best to deal with race in America and racism that we all face. So, like, let them talk it out. And again, this is up to the individual, and I'm not going to judge anybody one way or the other based off of what they choose to do in this moment. Just like I didn't when the Clippers and the Warriors played, just like I didn't when the NFL players went out there and played, just like I didn't going back to Missouri football when they made their decision to go out there and play against BYU on that neutral site in Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's up to you as an individual. I can't tell you how best to use your platform and use your voice.
Did MLK have a sweet jumper? Do we know?
I don't think so.
Because I'm not sure why we're asking basketball players to be MLK. I didn't ask MLK to be a basketball player.
They were talking.
Sure
the texter wanted a leader, a single leader to emerge, not from the NBA, but for black people. And even when MLK was around,
MLK wasn't that. At that
he
time.
wasn't the single leader. There was Malcolm X. There was James Baldwin. There were many others. Coretta Scott King, as well. There were many other leaders in that moment. At Elijah Cummings, in that moment, at that time, there were many different leaders. We just glorify and uplift Dr. King and use him as that example of great black leader. But there were many, many at that time.
Yeah. And it was at that moment, Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't perceived in 1968 as he is now. I mean, it wasn't as if that was recognized as the preeminent this, that, and the other, and that everyone should get behind him. No, obviously, he was assassinated. I mean, he was not a generally well-liked figure in mixed company. Now things have changed, obviously, but at that point, no. So you can look back on that, but you're not. That's a retrospective look. You're not going to be able to make that determination until many, many years later as to who the leaders and what the leadership was and what changed the course of history. Generally speaking, you don't know at the moment it's happening what is changing the course of history. Did you know we've had, sadly we've had hundreds, thousands of black men and women, killed by police brutality, by lynchings, by acts of terrorism in this country. Did we know that George Lynch would be the one to make a
George Floyd.
change? George Floyd would be the one to make a change for generations?
No.
I mean, we didn't know at that moment. But for whatever reason, the climate being what it is, George Floyd was a major change. look at the Breonna Taylor situation. We're still trying to figure out how can we get justice for her. And this was 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So history is – we can look back, and we have the luxury of looking back and making, retrospective determinations about what happened. With this thing in the NBA right now, like, you don't have that luxury. You're going to have to predict. You're going to have to guess. You're going to have to get out there on a limb. You're going to have to make that choice for yourself. And every player is going to have a different choice. Our buddy Anthony Sane sends us a tweet. Says, black man here. I've experienced racism of some sort every day for 40 years, and I'm prepared to see it for the rest of my life with hopes that my son won't have the same outcome. Still want to see some NBA games.
Yeah.
I
think everybody wants to see NBA games.
I want to see NBA games too.
But the difference where we are differing, I think, is that I believe this is a real moment of meaningful change, and change that hasn't been had, even though people have been giving money to causes, even though people have found ways to peacefully protest in the past in the NBA and elsewhere, and that the folks with power are listening, and they have the ability to make meaningful change to the criminal justice system. So with that being the case, let's not come in and talk over the progress that has been made, progress that we have been trying to make, going all the way back to Trayvon Martin in 2012, 2013, really before that.
That's before that, yeah.
Even so far before that. But I'm talking about this current movement. Let's not talk over them, because they've made more progress in the past month, 3 weeks than we've seen in the past decade, as far as ending no-knock warrants. We saw that happen in Louisville, and should be ended everywhere. The defunding of the police and reallocating those funds to other departments, like we're seeing Minneapolis, Minnesota do. We've got a chance here to make a real systemic change in the way we police people in this country. And it would be a shame for entertainment to come back and take away from the voice that the disenfranchised have recently gotten. And I think the NBA playing basketball would do that.
And you could see. I mean, I'm just kind of speculating here, but it would be easy to see after a game, LeBron saying something, like, "Hey, maybe, maybe it's time for us to really focus on basketball and blah blah blah," and then some other player saying, "Well, no, actually, it's not," and then the focus becomes this player rivalry. Mm-hmm. As opposed to what the issue itself is, mm-hmm. Or if Ja dunks on somebody, and then that becomes a thing, and or if a player gets sick, gets COVID-19, that becomes a huge story. Especially if it's a major superstar or a team, multiple players on a team get sick, you can envision all sorts of scenarios that could pop up that would totally distract from the bigger issue, inadvertently in many cases, but. As I said before, I really think that people in this country are going to will themselves to be distracted.
Yeah.
Unless you just create an absence of any distraction possibility. You're going to will yourself into being distracted. You're going to find yourself in that frame of mind. So I just think you have to be very honest about what's going to happen when the NBA returns. And it's going to knock that message down the pecking order a little bit. Is that going to knock it down enough? I mean, I don't know. Is there going to be some way to counterbalance that? Maybe a little bit. Is that worth it? It might be. I'm not saying it isn't, but I just think we have to be very honest about people that say that you can have it all, that you can continue the protest, that you can continue the rally, you can continue all that with the same ferocity and the same media and attention across all areas, while also having these sports and competing and all that stuff. I don't think that's true.
I agree. I don't think that's true, and we'll see. There are measurable things that can be done, though. This isn't one of those situations where, okay, what do you want them to do? This isn't Malcolm Jenkins deciding to no longer kneel and stand up because he feels like the NFL has given enough money and raised enough interest in the cause, the Black Lives Matter cause. there are actual tangible things that people are asking for. So you get those things pushed through. You start working on passing some of those bills, and I think that everybody will calm down a bit. You won't see not only you won't see near as many protests going on or protesters going on, but you won't see near as much pushback from certain entertainers about going out there and entertaining us. So I'm glad that this conversation is happening. I did not know we were, as black people, having this conversation in front of mixed company, but here we are.
Here it is. So let's have it. 67129 on the text line, 67129 on the text line, 360-8255 on the phone line if you want to get in touch with us, 360-8255. All right, so when we come back, we're going to get out the wheel, and we're also going to let you guys and myself work our acting chops in a little bit.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna do the dramatics for today, the Monday tradition that is CJ and Zach's dramaturgical essence.
Is that a word?
It is.
Okay.
And we're going to spin the wheel of conversation to figure out what that will take, where that will take us today. And we'll talk a little bit about the excitement in golf. Golf is back. Tournament was completed, and everything seemed to be okay. Very dramatic tournament. Lots of great leaderboard, too. So we'll do all of that when we continue here. From the Family Leisure Studios, this is Sports 56 Mornings. Peter and CJ with you. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
Father's Day can be stressful, trying to find the perfect gift for Dad. Thankfully, Tommy John, the revolutionary underwear and clothing brand, knows that comfort is for everyone. Right now, Tommy John is offering limited edition Father's Day gift sets, plus 25% off site-wide. All you have to do, go to TommyJohn.com. 25% off site-wide. The code's HERD. That's TommyJohn.com, code HERD. Go to their site, check them out for all the details. DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales. If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Clinton Broadcasting wants you.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Life is good today. Life is good today. Adios and via con Dios. Yeah, I'm leaving GA. And if it weren't for tequila and pretty senorita.
This is Toes by Zach Brown Band.
Toes. Toes. All right, we got business. We got business, fellas. We got business to take care of. CJ, you there?
Hey, I'm here. Hello.
I'm worried about you. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. You standing up to spin the wheel, or you just?
So I forgot to put the new topic on the wheel. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, I got you.
I forgot to get the wheel till like right as the start of the region.
Okay, that's listen, no big deal. I'm just making sure everything's okay. All right, so we're gonna spin that wheel. We're gonna get our topic for the wheel of conversation, and then we're gonna do the Ballad of American Pharaoh.
We're gonna do the wheel first.
Yeah, we're gonna do the wheel first,
okay.
So that people we can know the topic and marinate on it for the beginning of hour number 3, and then we're gonna do the dramatics that you guys have in store for us, which I'm very excited about.
I hope I don't break this. I didn't tighten anything up. Okay. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, wait. The cord got caught.
Oh.
The cord got caught.
All right.
False start.
A lot more difficult than people think.
There
people
it
think
is.
it's just spinning a wheel, but there's a lot more to it.
There we go. We good.
A lot more to just spinning a wheel than spinning a wheel. What is it? What's it?
Pet to be. You could be any pet. It's got to be a real pet. What pet would you be?
Like a specific named pet, or just a type of animal?
Like a type of animal. Like an animal that is a domesticated animal. Don't hit me with the tigers from Tiger King. And although I don't know why you want to be one of those. They murked them. But yes, so a domesticated animal, domesticated pet to be.
And just a type, like a dog.
Yes.
Like I want to be a dog.
What type, if you wanted to elaborate on what type of dog you'd like to be, that would be outstanding. If you want to be a fish, if you say, you know what, I want to be a clownfish, I think we keep those as pets. Sure, knock yourself out. If you wanted to be like a python or something like that, you could do that as well. Like it's so many different pets, so many different animals we keep as pets.
Okay.
Which animal would you like to be?
Let me think about that. Let me think about that while we do the Ballad of American Pharaoh. This, of course, is a what's the name? Is this what's the name of this particular?
Sports Talk Theater.
Sports Talk Theater. That's right. Sports Talk Theater featuring CJ and Zach, and also me.
Mm-hmm.
Today on Sports Talk Theater, the theatrical presentation known as the Ballad of American Pharaoh.
Last week he was the anniversary of his Triple Crown win.
That's right.
I do believe.
Yes.
Okay. This is our first adventure into animals. Also,
Zach will be playing the part of American Pharaoh.
Of course.
CJ will be playing the part of Random Horses.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be playing the part of Sounds and the announcer. Guy.
There we go.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
Bing, 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 bing. Oh, hoof slip there. Thankfully, I was able to bounce back like Alvin Kamara with tacklers.
I think this is my chance and time. I'm going to go the distance like Hercules. I have the lead, and I cannot be caught. That was a strong gust of wind. Wait, that was a win? That was American Pharaoh.
Back in front like my name begins with A. Wait a minute. My name does begins with A.
AP may be out front, but I'm close enough to catch him like my first name is Ash.
This is a good pace. At some point, though, I'm going to have to stop playing with these mares like I would during the game of Monopoly.
Oh, so close. I think I might pass him, although I do like the view of his donkey, but...
Oh, that was so close. Let me speed up. Gotta go fast like Sonic. Like Taco Bell through your digestive system. Like phone companies switching to 5G. Like the Millennial Falcon. Oh, here's the home stretch.
He's pulling away from us. I really hope he trips and falls like the seahorse that Oscar bet on before the finish line.
And in stunning fashion, American Pharaoh has won the Triple Crown for the first time in 37 years.
Yeah, I knew I had this in the hay from the beginning.
And scene. Great job. It may have been the best one yet.
Very
Congratulations to American Pharoah.
action-like.
It was action-packed.
Action-like, I think is the word. Action-esque. Action-ish. Action-ish. Excellent stuff. Congratulations. Thank you, fellas. Appreciate that. Who's the writer? Who do we credit for the writing on this?
Ghost Riders.
Ghost Riders.
Ghost Riders.
Congratulations to those Ghost Riders. They did fine work. Now, as far as what pet we would like to be, that's the topic of the wheel of conversation. Now, to me, this is I don't know if I can the specific owner, but I would love to be a well cared for, like a well cared for little dog.
Just a little one.
Yeah, because little dogs live longer and they're easier and they get more. They get better treatment because they can jump up on couches and they can hang out in more comfortable spaces like that. If I'm a big old like Great Dane or something, I can't jump in the bed. I'm not going to be able to get on the couch. Most likely, I'm not going to be able to experience some of the luxuries. So maybe like a mid-sized dog, like a nice like a Cocker Spaniel or something like that. I mean, they get all the treats, they get all the fun, they get to get up on the couch, they do all that stuff. That it'd be well taken care of. Yeah, that's I think that's an easy one for me.
Okay. I like to be left alone. Like alone. So I let me be a leopard gecko. Leopard gecko. I want to be a Geico.
Insurance company?
I want to be.
Okay. Well,
I'm thinking of the Geico lizard. Let me be the Geico gecko. Let me be the gecko though. Got a good lifespan, about 20 plus years. I kick it at night, so I'm asleep during the day when everybody's up running around. Nobody's gonna bother me. The food that I get, just like a couple of insects here and there, so I really don't have to look at you. You probably don't want to pick me up because I'm licking my eyeball and stuff like that. So yeah, let me be the Geico. The Geico. Frick, the gecko.
It happens to all of us, though. The Geico. All right. I want to be the State Farm.
You want to be the State Farm?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Zach, who would you be? Or what would you be?
I guess I gotta go with the fish. Just give me a big fish tank. Like I don't want like a small one where kids can come around and like tap the glass and like and like scares you because you know how fish gets kind of hectic when people comes up and like tap the glass and they like swimming away. I'd take a fish. I don't know specifically what fish, but I'll be
goldfish, clownfish.
I'm not
Big
really
fish, small fish, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. What do you think?
Had a feeling that was gonna happen. I don't know. I would say a koi fish. Because we had a koi fish at one point.
Oh.
And
koi are nice. They're pretty.
Yeah. They're a bunch of savages. So
what do you mean they're a bunch of savages?
Like they were eating the other fish.
Oh yeah.
Koi are nasty.
They're savages.
Koi are nasty. Nasty. Filthy. They eat anything. They're like goats. They just whatever. They eat trash, eat other fish, whatever you got. Just they eat whatever. Nasty. They're beautiful fish though.
I didn't know.
Very much so.
But they're nasty.
Yeah, I take the koi fish with the savage part, but minus the eating other fishes part. The other fish part.
They're not. I mean, koi just eat whatever they can find. They're not going. They're not there hunting other fish. You don't have to do that. They're just eating whatever they can find.
Well, the one that we had was trying to get at everybody, man. Like,
well, maybe you had like a
Maybe they were delicious.
Rabies or something. Can fish have rabies?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Consider it's hydrophobia, so I don't think that works.
Mm-hmm.
It was just hungry. Okay. Well, fair. My dad had for the long. We had a little pond that I dug in the backyard when I was a teenager for him, and put a little put some bass in there, put some other fish in there. A pet bass. It was fun. You hold the fish up like this, and he would jump out of the water and snatch the fish. Trained a little pet bass, about 4 or 5 pounds, pretty big bass.
It's like sit, wait.
He would whenever you walk up to the most time fish get nervous if you walk up to the edge of the water, but he learned that was, food time. So he would get excited. He'd swim up when you walk up to the little face, like kind of up at the top. And you hold that thing up.
Oh, wow.
Ka-smack. Had a little owl.
You had an owl.
Yeah, whenever we'd go to the lake, we had a little lake that we'd go fishing on, and the owl would swim down or would swoop down when we were on there was one particular bank where when we were near, this owl lived in the trees around that bank, and it was a mother owl. She would swim, she would fly down and sit on the edge of the bank and wait for a fish, and we'd throw a fish every time, and she would grab it in her claws and take it up to her family, and that was that.
Mm.
She became like a little pet, but she would wait for us. She would see the boat, and she would just swoop down and wait.
Okay.
You say you can't teach these animals. Come on. Owls know what's up. Give them some food. It's all good. All right, so coming up in hour number 3, we're going. You want to find out what, or if you want to let us know what pet you would be, text in 67129. 67129. That was the topic on the Wheel of Conversation today. Also, we're going to talk to Eli Savoy about his playlist. You've been hearing Eli's hits over the last couple of hours. You'll continue to hear them in hour number 3. We're going to talk to Eli about his playlist coming up right around 9:30. So plenty to get to in hour number 3. We're also going to talk a little bit about that golf and about what's going on here locally. Lots to get to. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Golf is back. That's right. We have a full weekend of golf ahead of us. And even though the trophy is reserved for the winner, the big cash prizes don't have to be. To add to the excitement, DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports, is putting you in the center of the action with a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. It's easy to play. Just pick 6 golfers, stay under the salary cap, and submit your lineup before the tournament tees off on Thursday. The more red numbers they have on the leaderboard, the closer you'll be to winning some green. Rack up points for pars, birdies, finishing position, and more. Download the DraftKings app now and use code HERD during sign-up. This week, DraftKings is putting you in the action with a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes. That's code HERD, and you could get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Bridges getting lower, the shrimp boat's coming home. The old man down in the corner slowly turned his head.
Hour number 3.
From his whiskey bottle and this
nice
is
Monday.
what he said.
It's going to be hot.
I was born in the rain on the Poncha train underneath the Louisiana.
This is the Eli Savoy's playlist, but I'm not Eli Savoy, nor is CJ, nor is Zach. I'm Peter. This is Sports 56 Mornings. You're going to hear Eli and Greg coming up on middays, 10 to 1. What's this, Zach?
This song is called Hurricane, and this is by the Band of Heathens.
Band of Heathens. I've heard neither the band nor the song, but I
was wondering when that knock was going to come in.
Yeah, like when we get the drop.
It feels like they're setting us up here for something special. Ask Eli about that at 9:30.
I was hoping for some little more of a bass drop. Boom, boom, that's something like that.
Like bring that thing to daddy.
What'd you think about that?
I loved it. Oh my gosh, I loved it.
I know. I've listened to it like 3 times. I can't. I keep listening to it. It's that man is a. I don't know what he is, but it's something. Something's going on.
Boy, he took that robe off and went in. No, shoot.
He was feeling it. That's what happens. You get in that moment, and you
just nothing but his drawers on. You feel me?
It's that.
Go get it then. I ain't mad at him.
No. I think a lot of babies being made to that particular beat, potentially. Hour number 3 is here. Like I said, I have to find a way to work that into the show. I don't know how to do that exactly, but lyrically, it's gonna be difficult.
Good luck.
But beat wise, we can make that work.
Got a couple of texts on the First Bank text line.
Well, hit me with those.
A monkey would be a cool pet to be, says one texter.
Why?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I'm really not sure, but you get to walk around, you get to climb stuff. You have free range of the house.
Throw your poop.
Eat pretty good. Are you throwing? Pet monkey stole that?
Probably.
Okay, cool.
Other monkeys do.
Another pet says,
another pet? We got another.
I don't know why I can't
Pets
speak.
texting. No, I'm in the same way. Listen, I've messed up too. Pets are texting us. Which
this pet text says, I'd be a penthouse pet. What's a penthouse pet?
Oh, it's like the girls in penthouse.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like rich.
Oh.
Rich lifestyle.
All right. My fault. I'm thinking of actual.
Showing your business to everybody?
Hey, I'm thinking of actual animals here. I didn't know that was an option. I like what you did there, Texas. Thank you very much. Texter on the topic of your pet owl, Peter says, I think an owl killed a hawk in my backyard.
Owls don't mess around.
A hawk would be a cool pet to be.
Hawks would, yeah. It depends on how you lived, but yeah, potentially.
I guess if you could be the war eagle, and just make your living on, 6 or 7 Saturdays out the year just flying around the field? Yeah.
You got to make a living as a pet? I don't. Why does a pet have to make a living? Are you asking your pet to
I mean, I don't have
pay
a
for
pet.
themselves?
I don't have a pet, but if I had one, yeah, my pet would have. Everybody in my house got a job. So this is
including the pet. Including you.
I'm not
gotta
into pets. I don't. I know what type of backlash this is going to get.
Oh my! You better be careful. This is the most
this
controversial.
This is a flimsy ass branch to be on by myself.
I can feel this not going well.
I don't like pets. I don't like rabbits. I don't like cats. I don't like dogs. I don't like none of them at all. I don't understand the point of it. I don't get it. It blows my mind that people have these things. If I had one, my pet would have to go to work. If I had a farm, then it would make sense for me to have a dog or two to help me herd the sheep around. If I had a rodent problem or a small reptile problem, then yes, it would make sense for me to have a cat of some sort to keep that thing regulated. But outside of that, man, I just don't see the point. I'm sorry that for that offensive statement that just came out of my mouth.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, once I move out, I'm getting a dog.
In the history, the worst take.
I will fully acknowledge that. I just don't get it. I don't.
Yeah, I'm getting a dog.
They don't make me feel warm and fuzzy or cuddly inside. I don't.
Have you ever had a pet?
No. Wait. There have been animals that have lived in the house with me, but no, that I don't. They weren't my pets. My sister had a rabbit. She called him Flopsy. He was fat as hell. And my brother had a couple of cats. And when I was younger, when I was like 2, we had a pet dog. And I just did not like the dog. And so they ended up giving him away.
Yeah, this is just a terrible thing.
Why would I have a pet?
Why
would I have something else to clean up after? I don't like cleaning up after myself.
Sad.
Why would I clean up after your pet?
It's sad. It's sad. I agree. It's sad. I mean, you can look up if you want to look up studies and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just selfish, if you want pets for your benefit, the pets are good for your stress levels, good for your heart, good for your body, good for all that stuff. There's nothing like the pupster. Got a little honey bun when we come back, and she's all excited to see us and jumps up. She plays with the kids. It helps the kids learn responsibility of taking care of somebody and something. She's fun. She's part of the family. I don't know. It's a great thing. I mean, cost benefit analysis. I don't know, but we love her. She's great. I don't know how you can't. Pets are awesome, man. Your dog is your best. They come sit and snuggle up with you, hang out, and you pet. It feels better to pet them, and just they play. They're fun to watch. I don't know. They're just it's great. Pets are awesome, man. I can't. It's I don't know how I can. I guess not everyone wants to have kids. I understand that too. That's your business. Mm-hmm. But this pet take is just
Texas says, "Oh Lord, CJ, I know it."
Yeah.
Maybe the worst thing I've said. Yeah. But I just don't get it. That I've shout out to Mighty Dog, Max, Brody. Those were pet dogs of friends of mine. Claire was a pet cat of a friend of mine, and those pets always seem to get in my space until I pet them. And then send them on their way. But I just don't get it. I don't get that same feeling that everybody else does from a pet curling up next to you or playing with the pet, doing fetch or whatever, petting them. I just don't get that same feeling. I don't get it.
It's an amazing feeling, CJ.
I hate that I don't have that bone in my body, Zach.
It is amazing.
I just don't got it.
It's wild. Just wild to me. I don't get it. I never thought I never thought I would have to defend having a pet as a good that just doesn't even seem like it doesn't even seem like a stance you'd have to take. That's just a self-evident thing. Yes, it's good to have a pet. Yes, I'm not saying every pet. I'm not saying every pet is right for every home. Mm. There's different types of dogs. There's different types of cats. There's different types of animals. Do you want a pet that loves you? Then get a dog. Do you want a pet that hates you? Get a cat. I mean, there's lots of different approaches to this thing. But fish. I mean, there's all kinds of different pets. I don't know. I'm not sure why people want a little goldfish or whatever. But that's their business. But pets are great. 67129. Please just text CJ and just kind of help him to
Texter says, what the hell, Peter? You have one that hates bacon and another one who hates dogs. What kind of a show is this?
That's sometimes I feel that way, Texter.
Hate is a very strong word. It's more so I don't eat bacon. Okay.
This seems to me like a no-brainer. Again, like it's very much like the bacon situation. Like I don't even know why I have to defend bacon in any way. Nor do I know why I have to defend owning pets. Like it just seems like
listen. I have accepted that I'm wrong on this.
Yes,
I understand that.
Good.
Just like I understand that people like ranch, people like mayonnaise, green peas. Those aren't my thing either. I just don't like them. I don't. But I understand their place and their role.
I mean, ranch and mayonnaise are nasty,
why.
so you're good on that one. But I'm saying the pets have a great benefit though. I think if you I guarantee you if you had a pet, if someone said take care of this dog for a month and you had to, I bet you would fall in love with it.
I guarantee you I wouldn't. I guarantee you.
I bet you would.
Because that burden has
you gotta
been
find the right
placed.
No,
I don't need Nope, I don't got to find
find
nothing.
the right situation.
I'm good to go. Text in.
No, I'm saying you would. I'm
no,
just
I
saying
wouldn't.
it would happen. I promise you it would happen.
I promise you it would.
I promise you it would.
Tim on the text line says there's nothing like the unconditional love of a dog.
Yes, exactly right.
I'm okay.
There's nothing you would it would very quickly happen for you. You would start to fall in love, and next thing you know, there you go.
Nah, I'm good. I'm all right. I've got enough love.
You don't. You
I
can't
do.
have enough love. Love is not.
I got
love is
enough.
not a. No, you don't.
I got enough. My love box is
no one
full.
has enough love. No one has enough love. There's never enough love. Love is not. You can't. It's not a container that can be filled. It is an ever flowing river, and it can only be added to.
I like that. Love is an ever flowing river. No, I don't want a dog or a cat or any of the other litany of pets to have. I don't want to clean up after it. I don't want to be responsible for it. It's great that it's excited to see you, but like I've lived this long without anything being excited to see me. I made it this far. I'll be okay. You know
what this sounds like?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
It sounds like one of these parents like, well, when I was a kid, we didn't have all this stuff, and I'm fine. So that means you don't
but
get this stuff either. No, you don't. I got this far without.
I don't think it's going to make me better. It's not going to make me any better to have a pet. It's not.
It will make you a better person.
I don't think so.
It'll make you a happier person. It'll make you a more responsible person.
Super happy.
I didn't say you're unhappy. I said it'll make you happier. Whatever level of happy you're at, that pet will make you more happy.
Okay. I think I'm happy, and I'm not looking to be happier. I'm happy.
You're not
enough.
looking to be happier,
no,
really.
I'm happy enough.
Interesting.
I'm
okay.
full up on happy.
You're good on happy.
I'm good on happy.
Okay. All right.
Because unlike love, which is a river, there is a happiness container. And my happiness container is about overflowing, Peter. Let me tell you that. You don't want to know what happens when it overflows.
I'm going to tell you, it doesn't sound like it at all. It seems like it's pretty empty to me. I don't know.
This text,
or maybe half full or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's there.
Almost gets me. I view kids and pets the same way. I like to visit other people's kids. I like to visit other people's pets. But I'm fine not having either.
I mean, I'm not saying you have to. I don't really care whether you do or not. What I'm saying is, it's irresponsible to say that there's no value to it or there's no benefit to it.
Not saying that. I'm not saying that. I understand and I
no value
acknowledge that
to you is what I'm saying. You
to me personally.
Yes, to you personally.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm saying. There is no value to me personally.
But there would be. I mean, I get that, but I'm saying there would be. You just have to. Once you experience it, it's hard to explain. Once you experience it.
I forgot about Gribbs. Shout out to Gribbs, Mr. Gribbs. Another pet, friends of mine, but I just
Mr. Gribbs.
Mm-hmm. Three-legged dog.
What?
Three-legged dog. Cool cat. That three-legged dog, but like, I'm okay. I see Gribbs. Gribbs gets excited. I rub on Gribbs a little bit, send Gribbs on his way, and I leave. I'm good with that.
I think the bigger issue here, we're not going to get into a psychoanalysis here, but you're just avoiding responsibility in growing up, and I get it.
Oh, okay.
There's lots of other responsibilities happening. I get all that, and that's fine. So I understand. And I know what you're saying, and it is hard. It is hard to grow up. It is hard to be an adult. That's difficult. I get you. There's plenty of other reasons why we wouldn't want to be, and I understand those. But I'm just saying, that's better dealt with your therapist probably.
Rhoda.
Which I'm not.
My mom and them had a dog named Rhoda. which they got after I moved out. When I lived there, there were no animals.
Yeah.
When I came back, there's been a couple of cats, a rabbit, and a handful of dogs. Don't know what's wrong with those people. Or what that says about me. Maybe I was their pet. Maybe that's what they thought. Like, oh, we got a CJ. We just can't have anything else in the house.
Well, did you watch any of the golf?
Yes, actually.
You did?
I did.
Pretty good, right? Wasn't bad.
The wife was looking like staring daggers at me for putting it on golf for all of 10 minutes. So I got it up off of there, but I really needed to see what was going on with Abraham. I was getting my Abraham updates from the people.
Yep.
Thank you very much, people, for
did
keeping
not
me. But finished -10. I guess that's pretty. He had a good finish.
Tied for 14th.
A real good
That's
finish.
not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. Yeah, it's okay. It's decent. Decent. He was in better position. I mean, frankly, he kind of just,
Hey, listen, Peter. He's working out the kinks, baby.
Daniel Berger won the tournament in a playoff over Colin Morikawa, who missed a putt, lipped a short putt out, fourth hole of the playoff, and Berger wins. Bryson DeChambeau with a solid week. Dude's jacked, ripped up.
Dude.
This guy's been spending all his time just pumping, like me. Very similar in terms of physicality and all that. And I understand. So he's been doing that. He's up there for 14 under par, one shot back. Xander Schauffele, Justin Rose, Patrick Reed, Bubba. Good field, and it gets you excited about a month or so from now when the World Golf Championships come to Memphis, and I would assume no fans are going to be able to be there. Very similar to the Charles Schwab Challenge, but there were fans like kind of around. There were fans that kind of squeezed their way up to like the outside of the course. There were fans that squeeze their way in. I'm sure over at Southwind, there's lots of folks that live there. They'll be able to have people in their houses and find some way to get. You can't have this tournament, this level of talent, especially. Oh my God, if Tiger comes, people be sneaking onto other people's houses. It's gonna be a mess over at Southwind.
How large are the gatherings we're allowed to have now? Are we still at
50?
Are we at 50? Oh yeah, people will be at those houses then. Because those houses sit right there on the course.
I don't know. Are we doing phase 3 today? People were talking about doing phase 3
I guess
today.
we're doing
I
phase
think
3.
we are. I know they talked about it. I think we're doing phase 3.
On to it. Bryson DeChambeau, my favorite article from the weekend, how Bryson DeChambeau put on 20 pounds during quarantine to get even thicker. 2 C's. This is becoming a thing. This is going to be a new word. This is going to be in the dictionary.
Well, and it's good. It's a differentiation. From regular thick to
THICK
to a positive. Regular thick could be any number of things. Could be a substance. Could be a gravy. Could be thick. Your soup could be thick. Your traffic could be thick. But THICC and possibly more C's. Only refers to one type of thickness.
Yeah, it does.
It's a positive type of thickness in general. So
glorious.
I love it. I love language. We talked about it on Friday. I love the when language changes and we continue to, because we always adapt it. It's always adaptable.
Yeah.
Talk something else. It's a ever-flowing river. CJ's language. You cannot fill it up. You can never learn every word because there's always new words being created. It's just how it goes. We'll come back and we're going to talk to Eli Savoy.
Hey,
about his playlist. He's given us the tunes for today. So we're gonna get a feel for Eli's playlist and get a feel for where Eli is on some of this stuff. So we'll talk to Eli next as we continue Real Sports Talk Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Napa know-how. Get all the quality parts you need at your locally owned Napa. Because right now, when you order from Napa online, you can pick up curbside at your local store in just 30 minutes. Or get your order delivered direct to your door with free one-day shipping on over 160,000 quality parts when you spend $50 or more. Quality parts delivered quickly and safely. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating stores, standard ground shipping and exclusions apply.
Hi, I'm Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. Can anyone explain to me why anyone would care how I measure your roof? We have all heard about measuring your roof from outer space. Well, to be honest, there are aerial pictures that are taken every 4 years that can be used to measure a building, but it's not from outer space. Besides, no one, and I mean no one, can tell you what's wrong with your roof or even if you need one by using pictures that might be 4 years old. If you would rather do business with a family-owned and operated business with a lifelong tie to Memphis that refuses to mislead or use gimmicks, please give me a call. Best products, best warranties, and the best customer service we know how to provide. Five-Ash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Great news, sports fans. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse is now open for dine-in service. Make a reservation and enjoy a mouth-watering steak dinner. Or, if you prefer, take it curbside. In addition to their fantastic steaks, the Butcher Shop Steakhouse has a variety of entrees, including Canadian lobster tail, crab stuffed shrimp, pan-seared red snapper, and fresh ground steak burger with portobello mushroom sauce. Planning to cook out? The Butcher Shop Steakhouse offers a great selection of hand-cut fresh steaks, lamb chops, Atlantic salmon, and more. Father's Day is coming soon, so make your reservation for dine-in or pre-order for curbside pickup. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse, dine-in, curbside, and delivery. Call us at 757-4244 and visit our website, thebutchershop.com, for menus and more. The Butcher Shop Steakhouse, Walnut Grove and Germantown Parkway.
Though we're apart these days, we're sharing more. And Geico would just like to say thanks. Thanks for sharing your dance moves. Thanks for sharing your DIY haircut fails. Now it's Geico's turn to share too, with a Geico Give Back. A 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. And because Geico's committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. Visit geico.com/giveback for info and eligibility.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, theme dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Asked me for a light, and the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You know
who this is, CJ?
I know it's know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yeah. The Gambler, baby.
Willie Nelson?
Oh,
no.
Man.
Johnny Cash. Kenny Lattimore?
Kenny Lattimore.
No, who is it for real?
Kenny Rogers. Come on, man.
Kenny Rogers.
Eli Savoy joins us now.
From Chicago, it looks like.
From Wrigley Field. Eli, he doesn't know who Kenny Rogers is. This is what we're dealing with here. There we go. Eli Savoy.
That's embarrassing. To not know Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers, man.
My fault, man.
Kenny Rogers.
We didn't play a lot of Kenny Rogers.
I mean, Kenny. We lost Kenny not too long ago. It's a very, very sad situation. How are you, Eli? How are you, Eli?
I'm fantastic.
There we go. Okay. All right. So you've provided the playlist for us on Playlist Mondays.
I am good. Can you not hear me?
I
I
think
can
we're
hear you
on,
now.
on like
we got
some
you now.
sort of a delay a little bit.
I can hear
okay.
you. I can hear you just fine.
I think Eli's on a delay hearing you though.
Oh, Eli's hearing me on a delay, or is he hearing you guys? Okay.
I think he's hearing us. He's hearing everybody fine.
Maybe you guys can ask him a question. Try asking him.
So Eli, take us behind the scenes on some of these songs, man. Why'd you choose the list that you chose, or the songs to be on the list that you chose?
I've got, I basically just took a little bit of some of my favorite songs, some are just from some favorite artists, try to do a little bit of a mix here and there of some different things. Mm-hmm. Obviously, country music is kind of I'm more of a country guy than anything else, and a little classic rock in there as well. So, and then I love Prince, so I threw a little Prince in just because you got to have Prince in anything. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was just trying a few different things there, but I mean. The Gambler is one of the great songs of all time. Like it's just a fantastic song. It's a fantastic story. For you to not know who Kenny Rogers is, I mean, come on, goodness gracious, that's just embarrassing. George Jones, one of my favorites as far as the old school guys. A little Zac Brown band in there, which is of current things. I love Zac Brown band. So it was a little just trying to give a little different stuff, but show who I am.
I think we felt that. I think the Prince curveball was a fun one.
It was good.
That was nice. I like that because we set up with a country and then boom, you come right over the top with a little Prince. Kind of, it was like where did this come from? But that's good because that's Eli. Eli will hit you with a curveball every now and then. You never know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got to keep you on your toes a little bit. That's the main thing.
No, this is where the playlist comes in because you can. It's like at a party, you got like a certain playlist of stuff that you got, and then all of a sudden you can kind of change the whole mood of the party with boom, one track, and the whole thing can change. That's always a lot of fun. We were just talking, by the way, since we got you here, Eli, you were just talking about the golf this weekend. Were you surprised at how good, how well they played? Like these guys were playing like they hadn't missed a beat. It was a little weird, obviously, without the crowd sounds and all that stuff. But in terms of the actual golf, man, it was actually pretty amazingly good.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It's weird, but the part that was weird is they talked about different guys and kind of what they did during the layoff, and some guys played very little golf. I mean, it was like they talked about guys who took 40 days off or so and then kind of tuned it back up. Other guys talked about the fact that they had been working on their game a lot. So it doesn't surprise me. Obviously, for those guys, if you give them that long off, I mean, what else are they? I mean, yeah, they may take a little break, but at some point they're just going to get back to playing golf because that's what they do. It's one of the things that during this time everybody can do is play golf because you can very easily socially distance out there. And so for them to go hit balls or whatever, I mean, you just look around this city, the amount of golf that people are playing during this. I mean, golf is a booming business right now because of it. It's one of the things that people can do as a way to get out of the house and do something. But so it doesn't necessarily surprise me. It was very the whole thing without the fans is so weird because you're used to that roar when certain shots are hit, and then when it's there were a couple of holes there where they had the folks like who had houses and they kind of so you had a little bit of crowd noise, but it's just so weird when a guy hits the shot and that you're used to that big roar and it's just dead silence. You're like, wow, it's almost creepy.
It was weird.
Did you roar in the house? I know the crowd wasn't there. Did you personally get up like, oh my gosh?
I did not have any roars. If Tiger's probably the only guy that I ever roar at home for.
Okay.
What will it be like over at Southwind with no fans but with Tiger? People are just going to be packed onto decks and all those houses. Any house that's even up close to it's going to be insane for those people.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, that's the thing. Hopefully they're able to go forward with the plan of having fans. We'll see how it works once they start doing it at the Memorial. But and we'll also see if Tiger's actually here. I don't believe Tiger's going to be here with that PGA Championship the following week in San Francisco. But that would just be the ultimate gut punch ever for Memphis if you had Tiger Woods and then the fans weren't allowed to go out there. But yes, if that was the case, those the people who do have houses out there that are in good spots to actually view golf, who knows what you could sell tickets for just to come to your house to watch the guy play one hole every day.
I mean, just that one hole, it would be crazy. And it would be this would be Memphis to finally get Tiger Woods to come through. But because of a pandemic, nobody could go out there and watch. This would be the ultimate Memphis type thing to happen. It would be sad, man. I think that Tiger, because he is the icon that he is and means so much to so many different people, could really and would really pack out an event that when I've been the past 2 years, is pretty packed. But Tiger's just a different thing entirely.
Yeah, it's having been at tournaments, worked at tournaments that he's been at. It's just people just can't truly comprehend what he does to a golf tournament, and for as long as they've waited here for him to come, if and when he ever does come here, I mean, it's going to be crazy. That's the thing. And even if they do have fans here for the tournament, the question becomes how many fans are they going to be able to have? I don't think it's going to be able to be just, hey, as many as normal or whatever. And what are the measures that are put in place? But like I said, I at this point I don't really expect Tiger to be here. We'll see when he actually makes his return. I guess it's probably going to be the Memorial, but we don't even know that. But with the way the schedule has gotten all condensed, especially if they do end up playing the Ryder Cup, there's going to be a lot of big things right there in a row, and I just don't see Tiger wanting to. It's probably going to be basically the majors and the Ryder Cup, and then maybe the playoffs for him.
We were talking earlier, Eli, about the discussion with the NBA and the players that they're having with regard to whether they should come back or not for not only COVID-based reasons. That's obviously something that's surging in Florida a little bit, but also whether that would serve as a distraction to the bigger Black Lives Matter movement and the protests that are going on around the country. With these two things happening, and the fact that if they don't come back, there's a high likelihood that obviously this season would be canceled, but then the next season could easily be canceled or impacted. What do you think happens from here? Where do we go from this spot?
My thing is this. I get it, and I can't tell them how to feel or whatever. And I certainly understand the idea that you don't want to distract from it. You don't want to take anything away. But to me, I look at the two guys who, now granted, it's a much different situation. It's a different sport, and they are pretty much singular guys within their sport. But Bubba Wallace has certainly brought more attention by being out there in that race car with the Black Lives Matter. Harold Varner III was a giant story this week in the golf tournament. He, after having the lead on Friday, like him out there playing, I don't think in any way distracted. I thought it brought more attention to it. Now, again, I know it's not the same because an African-American golfer, a black race car driver, these are guys who are very out of the ordinary in their sport. Basketball is different. But to me, I understand the point of, well, then it just becomes talking about what happened in the game or what did LeBron do in this game or whatever. But I think there are ways, and I think the discussion needs to be how do we, during this time, while we are playing and have that stage, what's the best way we can continue the conversation and make an impact? But obviously, if guys feel differently, that is completely up to them. Each person is an individual and can make their own decisions on what they think is best. But I'm selfishly. Obviously, I hope they play basketball. I think all of us, we just want to see basketball played. We want to see sports come back, and we kind of somewhat get back to normal. But I'm not going to be shocked at all if some of these guys decide they don't want to play for whatever that reason might be.
I think that for Kyrie and Dwight Howard and others, the thought process is, we've taken a stand before and hadn't seen this much progress in this short amount of time. We've worn the Black Lives Matters T-shirt. We've taken pictures with hoodies on after the death of Trayvon Martin. We've been vocal and outspoken. The NBA players, to their credit, have been really outspoken on matters like police brutality and others like that. And we haven't seen, or they haven't seen, the amount of progress that we've seen as a society in this past 3-4 weeks. And so their thought is, hey, listen, even if we come back, they don't need our voice. People are listening to them directly now. They don't need us to amplify. And if we're not going to amplify, are we going to detract at all from what they're saying? Are we going to take away any sort of momentum from what they're doing? And how can we play basketball without doing those sorts of things?
Yeah, and again, I get that. I think that there is, just my personal opinion, I think being down there playing and doing certain things and trying to get the message out using that platform, I think you absolutely can amplify the message rather than kind of talk over that message. It's weird for me that Kyrie is like the big voice for many reasons. One, because he's a weird flat earth guy.
Space
but he's not going to be playing anyway.
Right.
And because he's out with an injury, he'll be getting paid for not playing. If other guys just choose to not play, they're not going to get paid. So it's weird for me to have him be like trying to tell other guys that they shouldn't play and basically turn down getting paid, where he's going to get paid regardless because he's out with an injury.
Kyrie and Dwight Howard, two of the leaders in this movement, two guys who I don't think any of us want to follow behind.
Yeah. I mean, again, there's a lot of things with Kyrie that are a little bit weird, but it's Dwight to a lesser degree, I think, than Kyrie, but yes, it's still he's not exactly your normal
he's been run out of like 4 teams.
Go, you know what? Yes, let's all follow what Dwight Howard wants to do.
No, he's run out of like 4 locker rooms. Like the team, he's never been a real real leader, in the NBA sense of the word. So I find it a little bit unusual that he's out in front of this thing. The one thing that I think everyone has to take into consideration with all this, and baseball is dealing with it right now. If you are trying to use this to unilaterally change, and owners are in baseball, they're certainly trying to change the entire structure of compensation, the whole structure of the cap, the whole structure. In baseball, they're trying to institute something that looks like a salary cap, trying to change the way that these teams are paid. In basketball, if you cancel this season, in all likelihood, you are going to see the CBA ripped up completely, and you're going to see the owners try to put a less favorable CBA on the table. And so you have to know that may be worth it. That may be worth it, but you have to know the consequence of what it is that you're actually doing here.
Yeah. That's the thing. And I mean, baseball's driving me crazy because to me, like, everybody's just got to be able to get together and figure things out, like, and understand that while, yes, I think everybody, this is a different time as far as the Black Lives Matter. I think it is much, the country is much more on board as a whole. So you can continue, but you have to understand, like, the just pure amount of money that is on the line and what this means going forward in your sport. I mean, that's what, for baseball, the idea, as contentious as they are, like, I just don't understand how you can't get together and realize, for the future good of our sport, we got to just figure this out. Like, there's got to be some way that this can work for you and it can work for us, and we can have a season this year and we can have a good future going forward. And the same thing in the NBA, like, you got to understand, like you said, like, there's way too much money out there that's going to be affected by this. So we've got to make this work, and we'll do what we can, because we understand that there's so much for the future of this sport on the line.
Texas have weighed in on the First Bank text line, 67129. One texter says, why don't they hold daily symposiums on race in Orlando? Seems constructive dialogue is better than not playing.
Yeah, again, I mean, they can. I'm sure there's, that in these discussions. That's the thing. You just gotta. They have to figure out the way that they think is going to best, continue the conversation. But I believe having that stage can very much be a positive in this.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if a symposium would be listened to. I don't know if the symposium would just be ignored and let me get to the game, that kind of stuff. Like, is the symposium as impactful for the MLK Day celebration that the Grizzlies have as it used to be? Are people, following? I don't know. These are, this is an unprecedented situation. We there's no playbook to tell you exactly how to handle any of this stuff because it's all brand new. It's all different. We're in a very unique time. Not only, you've got a pandemic and you have a potential societal shift going on. These are major things that are both happening at the same time. We haven't even really talked about the potential health situation that happens. If you catch COVID or get down there. That's why this is such a crazy combination, man. I don't envy these discussions, but I think this week is going to be the big week. You got to do something because if you're going to go and get started by the end of July, that means you got to have training camps, you got to have everyone getting ready, you got to move people down there. So it's got to happen now if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
There's no doubt. That's the. It's the same thing with baseball. Like if baseball is going to have any sort of season, like you got to get there. There's got to be a training camp process to it, everything else. So you're going to have to figure some things out in a hurry here because the one thing I will say for this about the players in any of these, the idea of having that that swab stuck up your nose every single day. Mm-hmm. That would be enough for me not to play. That would literally, I would have to think about that. Like, do I really want that every single night for 50, 60, 70 straight days? I see a picture of that thing. It makes me absolutely cringe and want to throw up. I can't imagine having that every single day.
Oh. Yeah, that's rough.
No, thank you. No, I'm with you there. Eli Savoy, of course, you will hear from Eli coming up here in just a little bit on Middays with Greg Gaston. Eli, what's coming up? Tell everybody what's coming up today on the program.
We've got Ryan Silverfield on the program today. After they had their march yesterday, we'll be talking with the Memphis Tigers football coach. Also, Chris Vanini from The Athletic, who did a big preview on the Memphis Tigers. I think that was last Thursday or Friday. He had the preview of the Tigers for the upcoming season. So Chris Vanini also going to be joining us here on the program today. And we continue our 5 favorite songs. And speaking of going with the music theme, and today's category is songs with some sort of that honor mom in the title, or mother or mamas. Next week, obviously, we'll do dads for Father's Day. This week, we're doing moms because we missed that on Mother's Day.
How is Hey Mama from the Black Eyed Peas not up there for everybody?
The Black Eyed, I don't.
Hey Mama, this that thing that make you move, Mama. Get on the floor, move your booty, Mama. Got drama.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh!
I'm not familiar with that one. Got to be honest. I'm not familiar. And even if I was familiar with it, I don't think it would make my top 5. That's probably, I shouldn't hold that. That's with you singing it, so I shouldn't hold that against the Black Eyed Peas. I'm getting only your version of it, which probably is not your. I'm not sure there's a song you could sing that's going to make my top 5 in any category. Even if you sing The Gambler, I'm not sure that I could put that in the top 5 songs about gambling.
No, you can't put CJ singing in top 5 anything.
You got to know when to hold on.
Stop it. Just stop. For God, come on. You've done enough damage to music today already. Please stop. That is Eli Savoy. He will be joining you here in just a few minutes with Greg Gaston. Thank you, Eli, for your playlist and all your contributions today. We appreciate it. That's Eli Savoy. We'll take that break. We'll come back in. We've got lots more to get to as we continue here. We'll talk, get to those texts at 67129. Then we'll give you the update on what's happening with the NBA, the latest on NBA, MLB, and some college football news as well. So that's still to come here. Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 middays, delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselemembrace.com.
Dedicated our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, Call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
And the man to my left is folded down. Well, Johnny doubled up with the royal flush. I had 3 jacks and a pair of 9.
A lot of gambling songs from Eli as well.
Wouldn't expect anything less. The
That's,
Rob had got more
gambling,
drinking songs.
country music.
Eli gave me a great country music drinking song playlist maybe 2 years ago.
Is it as good as Mark Rebele?
No, nothing is as good as my man. Again, takes off the kimono and gets into it, boy. Talking about all the juices, all of them. Just like, oh, okay, I see you.
If you want to watch a man get infected by his own music and just taken over by the groove, the funk, whatever you want to call it. Oof, boy, oh boy. Shout out Solomon Hill.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Solomon.
I had no idea this person existed, but I'm excited now. All right, so we've talked about the return of the PGA Tour. Relatively, not easy certainly, but a relatively easy thing compared to some of these other sports. Baseball still feels a million miles away from returning after, essentially the Players Association head Tony Clark just said, all right, his release essentially was like, we're done negotiating. Just tell us where to work, and we'll show up to work. And then they're going to put it if they give them a time, then they'll file a grievance that they weren't given proper time, and it's going to just be a mess situation. It's going to be, I don't know if the commissioner could force a season. I don't know that I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see a season or not. This is they seem to be getting further and further apart rather than getting closer together amid all this. So they're in a mess right now trying to figure all of this out. Same thing as we mentioned with the NBA. There is at least a plan in place, but some of the players are not necessarily on board with that plan. And as for college sports, CJ, we've seen Houston, a little outbreak of COVID with the Houston football team. 6 players reportedly positive. No players positive for Memphis, which is good. Ohio State football players and their parents were asked to sign an acknowledgement of risk waiver before returning to workouts to campus for working out last week.
Peter, it's a Buckeye oath.
It's a Buckeye pledge.
Okay,
actually.
Buckeye pledge. Excuse me.
And you can call it the Buckeye pledge if you like. I call it the
pledge.
acknowledgement of risk waiver. It says, I may be exposed to COVID-19 and other infections. It says, it says, according to the waiver, I may contract this disease even if I follow all the safety precautions above and those recommended by the CDC, local health department, and others. I understand that although the university is following the coronavirus guidelines issued by the CDC and other experts, I can never be completely shielded from all risk of illness caused by COVID-19 or other infections. So they and their parents need to sign this before they can get back into the mix. I guess you're not. I don't know. It says the waiver states that any failure to comply with my Buckeye pledge may lead to immediate removal of athletic participation privileges, not my athletic scholarship, and or the inability to use athletics facilities. So they can't take away because it's not a legally binding document. They couldn't take away the scholarship specifically, but they the player could not play and they couldn't be allowed to go into the facilities if they don't acknowledge this risk situation. So it's not something that they can force the player to sign, but they can limit their ability to participate without it.
All right. Okay, we've seen cases popping up not just in Houston, but Arkansas State just across the river had, I do believe, 5 or 7 on their football team. Alabama has had some cases. Oklahoma State has had cases as well, and this is the risk. We've decided that we're going to go ahead with these sports, come hell or high water, and this is the risk associated with that. People will come down with the COVID-19, and there may be a case of severe reaction to the coronavirus and COVID-19, and we have decided that is okay, and we're going to live with that risk. So get ready for more of these that keep coming out.
It's going to be, this is why I think this is a potential serious threat to the existing model of college athletics, because of stuff like this. That can employers and employee, with that relationship that is established contractually, you can impose certain things, and employers have certain rights and employees have certain rights. But with the way that the collegiate athletes are playing, and they're technically not employees, the assumption of risk is a different thing, because they cannot hold their employers accountable in the same way. And now we're seeing a lot of people rush to try to, indemnify institutions, hospitals, care facilities, schools, et cetera, from these assumptions of risk. But it's still a different criteria. And, I don't know that everyone's going to want to get involved in it. I think this is going to change. This is another example of how this could change college sports in a big-time way. We'll see.
Yeah.
We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm barely hearing that music. It's so. There we go. It's like I think I hear the music, but I'm not 100% sure. We got to get out of here, of course. Big thanks to Eli Savoy.
Yes, sir.
For jumping in. Good job on the sports radio theater. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Zach and CJ, of course. Thanks to all of you guys for listening, being part of the show, and thanks to our friends at Acura Memphis who bring you this hour of the program. Coming up next, it is our friends Greg, Eli, Gabe, the whole Middays crew. They're going to bring it to you next. Everybody, have a great Monday. We'll talk to you in the morning.